Good afternoon, St. Louis, DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Monday. Happy President's Day. Andrew is off today. He's not a part of the union, so they have different days off, although he came in on his day off.
He did.
Came in.
Got some work done.
Yeah.
And then bugged out.
Not sure what he's doing, but
I don't know.
He must have another job.
You know, I bet.
That must be it.
Yeah.
Oh, he does have another job.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this. So
tomorrow's going to be pretty great.
But I'm going to tell you because and we're going to post it at some point, the picture, but Andrew was door dashing yesterday. Nothing in the world ever goes exactly right for Andrew, and certainly not with door dashing. And he said he got this order where he could tell he was getting no tip, just no tip.
Oh, well.
And it turned out it was 300 pounds of concrete blocks.
300 pounds?
That he had to deliver to.
It was 300?
That's what he said.
Get out of here. That's crazy.
I feel like that might have been hyperbole. I mean,
okay.
Because it was like 10 blocks,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I don't think those weigh 30 each, do they? How much does a cinder block even weigh?
Here, let's
12.
look it up.
Yeah. Really?
I would think.
It might have been 300 pounds.
Oh,
it says
yeah, they can weigh 30 pounds.
That's crazy.
All right.
Whew.
I would not have guessed that. I would have guessed less.
Me too.
And then when he got to the place he was delivering them, as you might expect, someone who would order 300 pounds of concrete blocks on DoorDash, it got weirder. So.
It's pretty rude to order 300 pounds of something and then no tip.
I would think
like,
so.
That's a bit like you're putting a lot of extra work on that person.
Yes.
Like you're a delivery driver. You're not a factory worker. You're not a stockroom guy.
First of all, I just wouldn't think that DoorDash would allow that. Like I'd be afraid that you'd drop one on your toe and you'd sue, but
also just don't be rude, man.
Yeah.
If you're asking someone to go kind of well beyond the parameters of the normal job, you should tip them.
Evidently, there was more than one person at home.
Yeah.
And the one person who was legally, mentally capable of ordering the concrete blocks didn't, but her relative, who's quote unquote not allowed to be online, was the one who ordered them. So, of course.
So great.
I learned something about cinder blocks today.
Yeah.
They can weigh up to 30 pounds.
I don't know I don't know why I thought it was only like 10. Because the whole thing is they're heavy, so.
Right. It's sort of what they're known for. Concrete blocks. Anyone going to think about the presidents today?
Oh, I'm always thinking about the presidents.
Sure. Yeah.
Got a favorite?
Nope.
I'm sort of
George Washington.
Sort of a Polk and a Taft guy.
George Washington.
I like the weirdos.
Just the first one.
Buchanan.
He said a few words that made sense. Like, I really don't want this job. Wish I didn't have to do it. Like that's what I want in the White House.
Yeah.
I want someone who's like, all right, I know I need to do this, but I don't really want to, and I don't want to
get out of it.
I know. That's why he's my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a favorite president, but I do have presidents where I'm like, I need to read their biography. I need to read Teddy Roosevelt's biography. What an interesting fellow.
I watched part of a film because I never finished them. So it's kind of a doc. But did you know that he did one of the first expeditions of the Amazon?
Yeah.
And almost died? Like he was there for like 9 months or something.
He was quite the adventurer.
He really was. Got shot in the chest and delivered his speech because it hit his Bible or something like that.
Something like that.
They had in his pocket.
Yeah.
It all just sounds made up.
I know. I bet Teddy, though, the perception of him today would be a little different.
Yeah.
Why you say
You're
that?
like, he's a jerk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was kind of a jerk, right?
I don't know. He was
That's why I need to
definitely a
read
big
his biography.
personality.
Yeah. I mean, I know he did a lot. So, I mean, you give a guy credit for being the person that does things rather than just being a person that tells other people to do things.
Yeah. I was pretty excited for a minute when Andrew sent us that TikTok of Barack Obama telling the podcaster that aliens existed.
Yeah.
Then he walked it back and it was just sort of weak sauce, vague, like, well, based on all the evidence.
Of course.
I think they exist.
Of course.
I kind of think he's telling the truth.
On the what part?
The fact, like, I don't think he knows anything.
I don't know.
Either that or he's
Why did he play the
liar.
game that he did then? Because he's not stupid. If he knew what that question was. The question wasn't, do you think somewhere in the billions of stars there might be a... That's
True.
not what the question was.
Yeah.
The question was about aliens here.
I don't know who that idiot was doing the podcast, but how about
It
a
was
follow-up question?
Brian Tyler Cohen is his
He
name.
didn't ask a single follow-up question.
No, I know. And the whole thing is stupid, and it's made me wonder why it even happened.
Well, it was like a rapid fire round of questions, wasn't it? And that's what Obama's saying now, as far as like, in the spirit of the rapid fire, in the spirit of the speed round, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying that there's no reason for me to say that anyone in that scenario gets the benefit of the doubt. You know what you're doing.
Think it was, you're a little conspiratorious.
No, I'm
about
not
this.
saying that. I'm saying if he screwed up, he should know better. You're a former president. You're not 87 years old. And you know what he's asking you. He's not asking you the generic, in the trillions of galaxies, might there be anything? That's not what the question was.
As president, do you know that there are aliens?
Are they real?
Yeah.
And again, that his answer was either BS, or he got in trouble for what he said, or he's just careless with his handling of it. Either way, it's whichever the explanation is just be better than that. Because you know what it does? It sends the whole internet off on this wild ass goose chase.
Good points. I think the third one, and maybe I'm just being fooled by Obama, but I think the third one's the most probable.
Yeah.
He
but
just
be better
answered
than
it
that.
inartfully.
Be better than that. Like, because again, people listen to your words. I mean, like literally, this guy was elected because he's so good with words. Like that was the difference. I'm not talking about anything policy ideas. That's it. He was the choice because he was so much better with words than everybody else. He got people behind him. That was because he's a great communicator. So be better at that.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like, lighting a match and throwing it at the gasoline and be like, whoopsies, that started a fire. Who knew? Come on, man. Either do it better or just don't answer the question. Because you know what he meant. And then when you walk it back, see, this is the problem. It's going to make all the conspiracies worse. It's going to make all of it worse. There's going to be more nonsense now because people are like, see, and now he's walking it back because the people that are behind the scenes, the men in black, they got to him. And they go, oh, for God's sake. All he has to do is handle that question better.
Man, speaking of Obama, I cried watching a video of Obama earlier today, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was video of this happened in February of 2016. A 106-year-old woman came to visit he and Michelle at the White House. 106-year-old black lady. So she was born in 1910 and is seeing our first black president. And she was so excited. And it was just such a sweet video. I couldn't help it. I was crying when I was drinking my coffee. That was like a nice little President's Day clip that I got to experience.
It's nice. It's nice. I cry on TikTok all the time. I'm a sucker. I'm a schmuck.
Your algorithms got you.
It does. By the tail.
Mine, it has started showing me like these emotional videos, and I am just eating it up. I keep getting videos now where it's like, stepdad asks stepson if he can adopt him, and then they cry and they hug each other, and I'm like, I don't have a stepdad. I can't really like relate to this, but for some reason it's making me cry.
Yeah, TikTok thought I was a doctor.
and a glamour witch.
A glamour witch. And for a long time was convinced I was a lesbian that just would not admit it to myself. It just kept hitting me with like, it's okay, sister. Just, it's okay. And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, listen, we can tell you're struggling. I promise I'm not.
What's going to happen when the AI replaces algorithms? and it's actually a thinking thing that's
It'll
like,
be much more presumptive.
dang,
It'll
man.
be like, you're a lesbian. Shut up.
Yeah. Dave's gonna be like, I guess so. You know,
Like, all right.
sure.
I always had my doubts, but now I know. AI has told me.
The first AI social media platform is going to just destroy people.
God, remember NFTs? I just saw a thing today where one of the Paul brothers bought one for $4 million, and now it's worth like $155 or something like that.
One of the apes, I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, what were those called? Wheels?
The
wise apes or
no,
something?
bored apes. That's
Bored
it. You're
apes.
right. The bored apes. Yeah, I mean,
That's one of those.
you want to talk about the ultimate scam.
Yeah, that's one of those that even I, at the time was like, these are never going to.
I think anybody with an ounce of brain power should have seen, wait a minute, okay, so it's an image that's on the internet, and if I show it to anybody, they can copy it, and now they have it, and it's supposed to have value?
But I got the original one.
It's the same thing. It's a digital thing on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not a physical copy of anything. Like, and the fact that anybody fell for that as something that would hold value is insane. Insane. Like if you own a great work of art that's actually on canvas, somebody has to break into your house and take it from you to steal it. On the internet, all they have to do is see it and copy it, and now they have it too. And it's the same thing. It's the digital copy. It looks exactly the same. There's no difference between them. I can do that. I can just hold the picture down on my phone and wait for it to say copy, and I can copy and save it to my phone. Now I have it too. And it's not even stealing. It's totally okay. Why in the world would anybody think that was going to hold value?
It says one of the Paul brothers just sold a Pokemon card for $16 million, so they don't care about the NFT.
No, good. I mean, again, something physical can be more valuable in the sense that for someone to have it, they need to take it from you, or you need to sell it to them, as opposed to just, hey, I posted my bored ape. It's on my Twitter profile. Oh, I copied that picture. Now I have it too.
Yeah, let me check on something here because I had a Pokemon card story in headline. Okay, wow. I did not realize that Logan Paul was the one who sold this rare Pokemon card. So it went for $16.5 million. Do you know who bought the card? Venture capitalist AJ Scaramucci. That is the son of former White House communications director Anthony Scaramucci.
How old is AJ?
That's a good question. I mean,
Pretty young.
How old does he have $16 million?
Well, you know, he's got rich parents.
Are they that rich?
I just
Like
heard-
that rich?
I guess.
I just read last week, I had it on my show sheet and I didn't get to it, that everyone's son, I don't know why just the boys, but everyone's son in the White House, everyone whose parents work at the White House are making fortunes on like Bitcoin and stuff.
You said the children
Shocking.
of the people working
Yes.
in the White House?
Yes.
He's in his 30s, by the way, so maybe he could independently have money.
Yeah.
And I think he does. I think he runs I don't know, some money stuff.
Sounds right. Tell you guys about my friend Dr. Maupin and her daughter Dr. Rachel Sullivan. They do two things. I'm sure you can say them with me. They do the bioidentical hormone replacement pellets, where you go in, if you're a guy, you go in twice a year, you get the pellets. They take about 10 minutes, no big whoop. It's not like you're debilitated for, any time after that. And then you're just going to start noticing that you feel better. I remember I've told the story before when I was 50, one of my friends who was 60 at that time said, don't look forward to 60. It just feels like you have the flu all the time. When I go late on my pellets, which I do often because I'm lazy, I can tell that difference. I can tell that my baseline has gotten worse than when I started this 7 years ago. Right next door, BioBalance Skin, Botox and chemical peels and fillers and microneedling, all those sorts of things. Fantastic. Like the Botox lasts about 3-4 months. So get that 2 or 3 times a year. And then like the microneedling doesn't last that long, but your face looks amazing. BioBalanceHealth.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Jefferson Starship, the Runaway Again Tour. Saturday, September 26th, the Family Arena. Also featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall, and Orleans. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Jefferson Starship, featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall, and Orleans.
Sawyer Brown. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. And Lone Star. Every little thing that you do, baby, I'm a live Saturday, March 14th, the Family Arena. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Sawyer Brown and Lone Star together live.
Working full-time but still falling behind? Learn how real estate education can help you build income and get ahead on your terms. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Hey guys, Glover here for Zero Res. Zero Res wants to give your home a little extra love. This week only, get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $109 plus a 4th room for free. Book online by February 20th at ZeroResSTL.com.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS and KMOX. Happy Monday, 122. Andrew is out for President's Day. So what's going on with the K-State coach? I missed it in real time.
So Kansas State just fired their coach this weekend for cause, their basketball coach, the men's basketball coach, because after a recent game, he ripped the team like the players. They lost by 30 points to Cincinnati, and he's like, none of these guys want to be here. None of these guys deserve to be here. They don't care enough about this place. I mean, really went in on them. It was like a 2-question post-game, and then he kind of like stormed off. So because after that, he got really criticized nationally. Like people like, man, you talk about someone that needs to be fired, for cause, because what damage you're doing. And all of a sudden the school has now fired him. So you get fired for cause, which is the same as if you were involved in some kind of scandal.
Yeah.
And that means no paycheck, no buyout, no nothing at the end of it, all because you went after your current players right after a game. Like, I understand it's probably not the greatest thing because you got to recruit and you're going to have other players see that, but I don't know. How many coaches have you seen lose their minds and criticize players, and who gets fired for it?
Yeah, tons.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it was a little bit more than usual. I mean, when you tell you're basically, you said, look, none of these guys are going to be here next year. They don't care enough. I don't know that that's the wisest thing to say, but I've seen coaches say similar things before. I mean, Bob Knight used to rip players. Probably not so much as he ripped media guys in post-game press conferences, but I mean, it's an interesting thing to me to be like, yep, we owe you this money contractually, but because you were mean to your players for 2 minutes in a post-game, we're not going to pay you.
Yeah, that one may not hold up.
No, I think it's probably going to be a negotiated settlement at some point where his full buyout, I think, is $19 million. And they're saying, we're not paying you anything. And that's just to pay less than the 19.
Yeah.
But it's an odd thing because the athletic director said just the last day or so, part of the reason they fired him for cause was the media reaction, which is
right.
really odd.
Yeah.
Right? Because it got so much national attention, they felt like they had to fire him for cause, which I thought was really weird.
Very strange.
Because the guys on ESPN, Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser, talked about it, and they really laid into the coach. And they're like, man, I'd think about firing him for cause for this because it's bad to rip your players. You brought those players here, which are all fair criticisms.
Yeah.
But it's very odd for a school to be like, he got yelled at by the guys on ESPN, so hey, we fired him.
So we'll get into a lot more baseball later on. But, yeah, the weekend and full squad there now.
Last weekend without Major League Baseball games until the World Series ends.
Nice.
Whoa.
Nice.
That's
How
fun.
about that?
Yeah, that's pretty great.
World Baseball Classic in a couple of weeks. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yadier Molina's on the field today in
Saw
uniform.
that.
He and Ozzy both. So everybody's got the spring training vibes.
Yeah.
I get a little, I think I want to say this correctly because I think it's an amazing thing for those players to be around. I think it's an amazing thing for prospects, for major league players to be around people who were elite and they're good people too. Like they're smart. They're really good at explaining things. It's a really beneficial thing for them. I find it kind of funny that fans get so excited though.
How so?
Just in the sense that it's not putting on a show for you. You know, I mean, he's there to help those guys. But what happens in those short things is not the same as what happens over a long period of time. And what we hope for, like I hope for, is that you're going to see Yachty around on a regular basis, because that's when you're really going to see the big impact. So I think it's awesome. I think and I know that the players love it. I know current major leaguers love it. I know the prospects love it. I've talked to many of them over the years, guys that are doing it now, right? Guys like you see Descalso out there. You see John Jay out there. When they were young guys, they loved that Ozzy was there. They would go nuts when Vince Coleman and Willie McGee were there because they love those players. They can steal things from them, not steal, but take things from them as far as lessons go. But it's not exactly like a show for fans, right? You know, it's not like something you're really going to enjoy. Does that make sense the way I'm saying it?
Not really.
Okay. It's like there's nothing. I guess there's nothing for us to see here. It's more for them. And then maybe years down the road, you'll be able to see that there was some impact from those instructions or from those meetings or whatever, but you won't know that for a long period of time.
Man, that factoid you just gave about games until the World Series. It's just that time of year, isn't it? Like things are just looking up. The clouds are parting.
It was a really short off season. Maybe because I was much more engaged with baseball.
Could be. It was also a different kind of offseason for the Cardinals. It was a lot busier.
Yeah.
You know, the last few, it's been a lot quieter, where they would make a couple moves here and there, adding a low-level starter or some mid-level person here or there. This was a much more significant news offseason for the Cardinals with all the guys, but it was mostly guys going the other direction.
Yeah.
Major leaguers. A lot of good young players coming in.
You been paying much attention to the offseason that the Bud Light 60 and over team had?
I've not.
Lots of moves.
I've been getting some insight from your manager.
Lots of moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just came in last night. I may be playing a little bit of first base if Ed, our first baseman, is out. So,
well,
I had to buy a first baseman's mitt.
Yeah.
So.
You have to work on your footwork.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
When's the last time you played first base?
9th grade.
Okay, we need to work on that so you don't get hurt.
Let me tell you guys about Mike at Michael's Baths. I told you about shooting that video with Drew from Our Place is Great. And Will, who is the listener, who is kind and generous enough to let us go into his house and stand in his bathroom and shoot a little video. So that should be up at michaelsbaths.com. I don't know, within a few days. I'll let you know when it hits. But it was cool for me because you can imagine doing all the live endorsements that I do. And I know from my clients that, yes, you buy Weber Chevrolet cars and you use Michael's Baths to do your bathroom. But meeting someone who listens to the show and that's where he heard about it, that was pretty cool. So I can tell you what he told me, and that is like he was super, super impressed with Michael and super impressed with Tony, who is the job boss on his particular job. A couple things went sideways with other vendors like the marble guy and the plumber, and he said that Michael's Baths just sort of made up for it and just did what they needed to do to fill in the gaps. They're about 30 to 50% less expensive than the national bathroom remodeling brands. They're all local, family-owned and operated business. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain.
I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
It's a holiday for a lot of folks, and it's a delightful afternoon. Sunny skies, 66 for the high, way above average. Some clouds and chilly tonight, but not really cold. 42 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Tuesday, breezy and 66. Clouds and 56 on Tuesday night. Wednesday, partly sunny, 72. The record on Wednesday, 74 from 1971. It's going to be close. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
This is Harry Carey from the beautiful new Busch Memorial Stadium.
From moment to memory.
Cardinal football on the move.
Among those voices, Bob Hamilton.
When I was in high school, I decided I wanted to go to radio.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Nicholas joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 133. Blair says, I've been excited since Game 7 of the World Series, one of the best games of all time. The only game I know where all 5 starters from both teams pitched in one game. I didn't know that little factoid, but I can tell you that I've now watched Game 7 3 times. I watched it live. I watched it about a month ago, and I put it on over the weekend as I was like cleaning and doing stuff. I almost put on the 18 inning game, just like, no, let this thing run all damn day.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, if it weren't the Dodgers, people would just be loving up that World Series.
It was a great World Series.
People obviously are frustrated. I get it. I mean, I share some of that frustration. It's ridiculous that 5 teams can outspend everybody else by as much as they can. But it doesn't change the fact that the games were amazing. It doesn't change the fact that was one of the best World Series we've ever seen.
Yep. So, Rach, you scared your boyfriend telling him about stuff you used to do when you were a kid?
Yeah, because I was watching something and it reminded me of bobbing for apples. So I asked Kurt if he had ever bobbed for apples, and he's like, no. And to be fair, it feels like kind of an old timey thing. I don't know how much kids are doing that now, especially like post COVID, right? Like go to a party and dunk your head in a bucket or a pool of water and try to bite an apple.
I might be on Team Kurt here because I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Ever?
No. I mean, I've seen it in like cartoons.
But not in person?
No.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I grew up in the apple bobbing capital of the world.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, if you're going to bob for an apple, it's in South Roxana.
Yeah, I mean, I may have seen it, but I don't think I ever did it.
It always seemed to me like you'd have to dunk your head underwater and trap the apple on the bottom, which I was not going to do.
You do, don't you? How else can you get it?
Man, I feel like I was able to grab
Just
them
grab
without
it?
doing that. Yeah.
Huh.
But anyway, then I asked him, had he ever played a game where someone puts a mini donut on the end of a fishing pole and then you
That
have
one
to
I've
grab
seen.
the donut?
Yep.
We have to do what?
You got to bite the donut at
Fishing-
the end of the fishing pole.
For kids with donuts.
The donut is the bait, and you are the fish, as it were.
We did that at Phoebe's school one time, but with big donuts. And this kid swallowed a part of the string.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I was going to jail for that one.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, he acted like that was kind of one of the crazier things I've ever said to him.
I mean,
I don't know if I would call it crazy, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
I will say this. I was a child. We played this at some sort of like church or school event. Either way, it was like a religious party of some kind. I do remember feeling
there's a message to it.
well, not really, but I do remember feeling like it was kind of a demeaning game to an extent. It's like, come here, you're the
Do
come
they
on,
yank
here's
the donut
bait.
away from you?
Yes, yes. It's like the carrot and the donkey.
So
They're
let's
like,
mess with the kids.
Exactly.
What
I
are we
remember
learning
being
here?
like, look, I
Here you go,
want the
buddy.
donut.
Oh.
Yeah. I want the donut, so I'm gonna do it. But also like, hey man,
Now, this
F off.
tiny donut represents your salvation.
Oh, missed it.
Missed it.
Too bad.
yeah, like I wouldn't play that game now. I would feel pretty put in my place if someone was like, I've got the donut on the end of the fishing pole. I'd be like, you know what? I'm all right.
I bet
I'm
we
an
could do
adult.
that here out in the kitchen. Just kind of hang one and see who comes for it and then pull it away.
I had a weird early religious upbringing. I had Vacation Bible School where I got kicked out. Famous story. Then my next one, I'm probably in 6th or 7th grade, and I go to church with Brad Wells, who's now police chief of Wood River. And they had a boxing ring set up, and they had one guy was Jesus, and the other guy was the devil. And Brad was the devil's minion, and he was like made up in a way that really scared me. Like his makeup was scary to me, even though I was 12 or 13. And he had, I'll never forget this. Wonder if he remembers it. He had a bag that said "Bag of Tricks" on it.
Oh.
And it was like a professional wrestling thing. And everyone was losing their mind and going crazy. And the devil was beating up Jesus. And everyone's like, no. And then Jesus flipped him over.
No, stop beating up Jesus.
Did he do the Hulk Hogan like shaky arm as he's
It
coming back?
was like 1, 2, whoa, Jesus threw him off. And so all I knew about religion was you ate cookies and Kool-Aid, you got kicked out halfway through, and they had boxing matches between Christ and the devil. And I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what you people want of me.
Who did the better mic work?
I just remember I can see it in my mind. I can see Brad making like his devil face and looking in his bag of tricks. And I'm like, this is a little too serious for me.
Okay. I know you said you would never bob for apples. Did you guys ever play Pin the Tail on the Donkey?
Yes.
I don't know if I played it, but I definitely saw it.
Yeah.
We might have done that. Yeah.
So Pin the Tail on the Donkey was one that I would always see on TV and in movies, but it never really happened for me in real life.
Mm-hmm.
finally I was presented with the opportunity to pin the tail on the donkey, I felt so stupid when I didn't pin the tail perfectly. I thought this was like a lock. I thought only a pure idiot wouldn't be able to remember exactly where the donkey's rear was to
So
pin
you're
the tail.
really disappointed in yourself?
I can feel the way I felt then right now, just like disgusted with myself and needing to be perfect. And there was no way because I was blindfolded and I didn't know where to pin
Well,
the
they
tail.
spin you around, right?
Yeah,
Don't they do
that's
the
part
thing
of
where
it.
they blindfold you and they spin you around and then you got to try to reorient yourself?
We did a lot of musical chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Which was my first, the first time I remember being super anxious, like in a competitive way, like shoving kids and stuff.
Oh,
and,
dude, it all depended on who you were matched up against.
Yeah.
In our school, anyway, it did. Like, you were going to be nice to somebody. You weren't going to knock the crap out of a girl. But if it was your buddy and you guys were going for the same chair, somebody's going flying. One of the two of you is taking a ride.
The only time I remember winning anything at a birthday party was we played a game where maybe this is the game for kids who weren't very good at games because it was pretty easy. They had a mason jar on the floor and you would hold a clothespin up to your nose and you had to drop it from your nose and drop it in the mason jar, which I did. And I won this badass squirt gun, which was a cobra head. And the cobra head would shoot the water out and make it look like it was spinning.
Oh, man.
Pretty sweet.
That
That's
sounds fun.
badass.
Pretty sweet. Yeah. And it's funny because now it's all coming back. I remember going home and telling my mom and dad, all excited that I had won this. They're like, "Oh, what game did you win?" I'm like, "Well, I had to hold a clothespin right here and drop it." And they're like, "Oh, it was the one for kids who aren't good at games."
How is it attached to you? Like, does it pinch on the nose and then you drop it off, or is it just
No,
rest
that
there?
would actually be somewhat challenging. No,
Yeah.
you just like,
So
you just held it up,
you just-
dropped it.
Oh, you held it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I was
Again-
wondering if it was a balancing thing or
yeah.
Man, Dave, do you remember maybe 7 or 8 years ago on the show, Sue and I made all you guys play baby shower games?
Kind of.
Well, because baby shower games are the worst games out there. A lot of times they will like wrap up something stinky in a diaper and you have to like smell it and guess what's in the like it's just awful.
You guys
It's
are
just
weird.
not. Look, it somehow became a tradition and then everyone started doing it. So then I feel like, unless this was like a fever dream or something, I do feel like Sue and I organized this game for the DGS.
If not, we can
at
do
one
it again.
point. Maybe not. I mean, it's pretty nasty. Hmm.
What was I just thinking about? Oh, crap. I lost it. I can't remember. I know what it was. Wheels. The first time I remember Injustice was a Easter party. And it was at this kid Rex's house who was only there for like 2 months. Cause I remember thinking Rex was the coolest name of all time. And I was in first grade, but there were some like third graders there too. Isn't that weird? Like I could beat the holy crap out of any third grader in the world right now. You would give me any 6-year-old, 7-year-old, I'll beat the crap out of them. But back then they were like a force to be reckoned with. And they put candy out with the eggs and they said, "Okay, ready, go." And I could see that there was an egg and some candy right next to a clothesline pole, which is a metal pole that, sticks out of the ground. And I bent over to pick it up. And this third grader put their foot on my butt and shoved my head into the clothesline pole. And I remember it going boing. And I remember seeing stars.
man. Yeah.
And then I remember looking behind me and seeing this kid put my candy into his bag. And I remember thinking, well, I didn't think this sort of thing could happen in the world. Like, I remember it. I'm 61 years old and I remember the feeling of like the grass underneath me and watching him run away with my booty and like, well, I guess I better start minding my P's and Q's here.
That's another throwback to the 70s when the adults around just didn't care.
Evidently, it's not all in the up and up.
They were just like, he'll be all right. That kind of describes the 70s, doesn't it?
Very much.
He'll be fine.
Yeah. Rub a little dirt on it.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
Swing and a home run to left. The first major league home run for Albert Pujols.
Among those voices, Dan Deerdorf.
Good football town with a lot of good football fans, and they deserve better than to have both of our teams lead.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy President's Day. Hopefully most of you are out there listening from home or riding around in your cars doing something else because you have the day off. Because it's federal holiday, right? I mean, it's like Christmas. Yeah. It's like no different than anything else. I'm screwed up on holidays.
I think Christmas is like the holiday. Because when I worked retail, I never got days like this off. But we always had Christmas and I think Easter Sunday we would get off.
Because days like this are more like days to buy a cheap mattress. Right.
Right. Yeah, retail people are still working. Restaurant people
evidently
are still
presidents
working.
loved mattresses because that's, hey, it's a President's Day mattress sale.
You know, there just aren't many holidays between New Year's and what? I mean, you have Valentine's Day, but I mean, nobody's doing that to buy things, right? You're going out to eat or whatever.
Yeah. Wheels, I was doing lives for a mattress store, and Mark Close and I were both doing them. So we went to have the meeting where you go to go to the store, and we did. And the guy said, I want to give both of you a free mattress. I just want you to experience what is going on. And so Mark picked out one of the less expensive ones, and I picked out the most expensive.
Oh.
Because I was new to the game. And Mark's doing the whole like, and the guy was like, I like your style. Here you go. Here's the Elvis bed or whatever. And it was like thousands of dollars. And so then slept on it for a couple of years. I was a larger man. And because I was larger, I always tried to do things that made me feel not as large. I don't know why this is, but covering my body in white baby powder at night made me feel less large. And using self-tanner also made me feel more in shape. Again, can't explain it. But over a couple of years, the bed started to really bow in the middle.
Sure.
And when the guy came to look at it, I wasn't home. Maureen took care of it. And there was evidently a giant, sweaty, self-tanner, talcum outline of me on the bed. Like you had put a gigantic donut of a man there. And they refused to take it back because they said it was a hazard, a health hazard.
Well,
That hurts.
It sounds like a hell.
Did you ever flip the mattress?
I don't know.
Why would they? Why would they take that back? They can't resell that, you know.
I know, but it was one of these like, oh, you'll never pay for another mattress when you get this one. And I found the outer parameters on that one.
It's so wild.
Man, the
Try being the donut.
So that was like after like you had sheets and stuff on there.
No, we're losers, and we sleep right like
Well, I'm saying, so that's crazy.
It's a crack
It's
house.
seeping through the sheets.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy.
Seeping through, yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was marinating myself every night.
Joel says I don't know what to do with this information.
Well, Joel,
Nothing.
it's
You don't
your
have to do
problem
anything.
now, buddy.
Yeah, just enjoy
Man,
it.
If I have to live with this, you have to live with this.
now, Dave, you know I went through a self-tanner phase of my own.
I remember.
That and baby powder is crazy work. For some reason, I feel like the baby powder would really mess with the spray tan.
It was alternate.
So not on the same day.
No.
Well, it still feels like
That would be
even
crazy.
Yeah.
It still feels like it would maybe help exfoliate some of that. I don't know. It doesn't seem like they go together. How interesting.
Thank you. I've had lots of ideas.
Yeah.
Most of them don't work.
Oh, man.
Change the way you think about me?
No.
Okay, good.
No, because I mean, like,
Man, when they started having those talcum powder lawsuits because they cause cancer, I'm like, well, I've got days.
yeah, I've never been like the put stuff on me person, but I sweat a lot. And if I wasn't married, I'd probably never change my sheets because I just don't think of it.
We're getting into some confessions now.
Yeah, I mean, I fully admit I'm just a college kid still, like psychologically. I don't know how many. I mean, I probably washed in college. What do you wash the sheets like every semester?
Okay.
You don't even think about it. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe it was more. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Just don't care.
How often should you change your sheets?
You should, like, every week. I don't really know anyone who actually does.
You're pretty close.
I don't think so.
Pretty close.
I don't think so.
Two semesters in a year.
Martha Stewart just gave an interview, and she says she changes her sheets like every 4 days.
Oh, well, you're rich.
Right, exactly. She has someone else do that for her.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's got a housekeeper.
I feel like I ran a dang marathon every time I have to.
It's work.
Just getting the fitted sheet on.
It's work.
Yeah. It's too much.
Such a pain.
Just spray some Febreze. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have almost
Totally takes care of sweat stains.
Yeah, I wore a lot of cologne back then.
You just gotta wear like you just gotta make sure you have sheets that like don't show much, you know? Like the color, like what do you call the beige colors? You know, if it's like a dark sheet, you're gonna see the white sweat outline.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a white sheet, not great.
So, Kyle, how old are you now?
He's 12.
23.
23. Okay. I was only about 2 years older than you. I was not always the affluent man you see before you. I was once broke ass poor. And I wanted cologne because I was going out that night to look for some ladies. And I couldn't afford cologne. So what I had figured out was if you go to Schnucks, back then, the men's magazines like GQ
Oh, yeah.
and Maxim always had little strips where little samples. So I would go into Schnucks before going out to look for the ladies, and I would rub the GQ all over my face and my neck. And they caught me, and I was banned from the Belleville Schnucks. So
that's crazy. Not a bad move, though. I respect that play.
Innovative. It was innovative. Right?
You got to be creative sometimes.
Got to be creative. Yeah.
Oh man, Dave, I just realized someone else ripped you off.
Who's that?
This influencer. Actually, this is a trend I've seen a couple of influencers doing. They will go into like Ulta or Sephora, and these are beauty stores for those who don't know, and they will do their full face of makeup for the day with the samples at these makeup stores. And
I
it's
was
like,
the first.
Yeah. I mean, once again, you're a trailblazer.
Yeah.
But I saw someone doing that this weekend, and all the comments were like, this is extremely unsanitary for you and the other customers.
Yeah.
Please stop doing this. I mean, they're doing it to get a reaction, but
Wheels, when I got caught, it was so classic. It was so classic. Because like they have mirrors and cameras and stuff. And this youngish guy, like an assistant to the assistant manager, walks up. He's like, I'm sorry, so we're going to have to ask you to leave. And I'm like, oh, why is that? And he's like, because you're rubbing your face all over the magazines. I'm like, Pshaw! I've never, and it's like, okay, I'll go. I really tried for a minute to take the high ground.
How dare you, sir?
I've never been so insulted in all my life.
Did you take off a glove and smack it with it?
Tell you guys about my friend Dr. Matt Bays at Bays Sports Medicine. Bit of a niche here. I'm sure that Matt will see friends of his that have a sinus infection or what have you and write him a script for a Z-Pack, but that's not what he does every day. He's not like a general practitioner. He is there for people who get injured, whether it's something very serious, like from a car accident or, a bad slip and fall, or sometimes, as you know, if you're an athlete, especially, that you can twist something and you're down longer than if you actually have a clean break. He's great at chronic injuries. He, over the last few years, has been doing a whole lot of regenerative medicine, which are the stem cell injections. They're not anything controversial. They're not fetal. They're not umbilical. They are your stem cells pulled out, put back in your body, and then he can tell you about the magic that happens and how it actually regrows tissue. I know Bulger's dad, Bullet, was bone on bone in his knees and went to see Matt and got much, much better. For Bay Sports Med, go to baysportsmed.com or call 636-735-3003.
Hi, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. We all procrastinate. We put things off, confident we'll have time later. Well, one who procrastinates in choosing will inevitably have their choices made for them by circumstance. Could be an illness or even a death. And it happened to me. I was widowed at 41. It could happen to you. If you procrastinate and fail to plan for your future, for your children, circumstances and the courts will make your plans for you without your input. Eamon Gantner and Capriano help thousands of families plan for their future now. We can be your personal attorney too, guiding you with a will, trust, powers of attorney, Medicaid, and VA. You may delay, but time does not. Eamon Gantner and Capriano, yourestateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Hi, it's Debbie Monterey with Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. Welcome back, Gloria. For years now, you've been on KMOX helping families plan their next big move with your guaranteed sold program. For those planning to sell their home this year, what's your best advice?
Thank you. My advice is simple. Do your homework before listing your home. Our market is stabilizing, inventory is tightening and moving fast. In other words, the realtor you choose to sell your home really matters. That's why my sellers love my guaranteed sale program. I guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price and time frame, or I will buy it myself. I have thousands of buyers in my buyers in waiting database, so your home may already been sold before it's ever hit the market. Higher demand, more competition, and more money for your home.
Friends, if you want a realtor who will guarantee results, call the one I trust, Gloria Liu, at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Your ride home just got a lot less of this and a lot more of this.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going, a swing and a high fly ball, deep left field, and it's a gunner.
Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Nicholas, 3 voices, 1 hour, all Cardinals. From roster battles in Jupiter to pennant races in St. Louis, the Redbird Rush Hour delivers. The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX. The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it is a cloudy sky. Right now, 61 degrees. The feels like is 53 downtown at the Arch.
CBS News special report. Actor Robert Duvall has died at the age of 95. He was widely regarded as one of the greatest actors of his generation.
Well, that's all relative. It's all a matter of opinion,
CBS's Deborah Rodriguez with a look back at his life on the big screen.
He received his first Academy Award nomination for his role as the family counselor in The Godfather.
They shot Sonny on the causeway. He's dead.
6 more nominations followed, including one for Apocalypse Now, where he uttered the famous line,
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
He often said, though, in interviews, his favorite role was on the small screen, playing an old Texas Ranger in the CBS TV miniseries Lonesome Dove. His wife, Luciana, announced his death on social media, saying thank you for the years of support and for giving us this time in privacy to celebrate the memories he leaves behind. CBS News Special Report. I'm Stacey Lynn.
The cold rain on Saturday didn't keep hundreds of people from showing up at the Mardi Gras Grand Parade in Soulard. St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy talked with his officers about the importance of events like Mardi Gras.
We do events like this that just showcases our city and brings more people in and how good the city is and what we have to offer.
St. Louis Police report issuing 20 citations to underage drinkers. Katie Weiss in New Orleans reports there have been incidents with parades there.
Over the weekend, there were photos circulating on social media appearing to show a black doll hanging by beads on a float. The crew of Tux that was throwing that parade called the action intolerable. They said that we are offended by this behavior and it will not be tolerated. Meanwhile, the Louisiana Attorney General is also investigating that incident.
A federal judge officially declares the gray market slot machines found at Missouri gas stations are illegal. U.S. District Judge John Ross ruled Friday the devices operated by Torch Electronics do meet the legal definition of a gambling device. The Post-Dispatch reports that decision strips away the loophole the company has used for years to operate thousands of the machines across the state. Lawmeyer Sculpture Park is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year.
On any given day, you can visit the park and see around 70 sculptures. And I say around because the number does change.
Lauren Ross is Lawmeyer's executive director. She says the land was gifted by Henry and Matilda Lawmeyer, and the first 40 or so sculptures were donated by St. Louis artist Ernest Drova.
We estimate the number of artists we have worked with over the years on exhibitions and commissions is around 1,000.
A new exhibit, Begin Again, 50 Years and Counting, explores Lawmeyer's 50-year history and what comes next. It runs through December. From the KMOX Business Desk, passions rules supreme at the movies. Here's Deborah Rodriguez.
Emerald Fennell's take on an Emily Bronte classic has galloped to the #1 spot at the Valentine's weekend box office.
You want me to stop?
By Warner Brothers accounting, the R-rated Wuthering Heights is on pace to sell about $40 million in ticket sales from Friday through today in the U.S. and Canada. Coming in at #2.
A goat.
Holiday ticket sales for Stephen Curry's animated movie about an animal with big dreams of playing in the big leagues, with expected sales of about $32 million. Amazon's MGM thriller Crime 103 is third. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Just cleared out a stalled vehicle 270 south at 44 and some road work at 270 east at New Florissant. There is a stall 70 east at Salisbury on the right side.
It's a holiday for a lot of folks, and it's a delightful afternoon. Sunny skies, 66 for the high, way above average. Some clouds and chilly tonight, but not really cold. 42 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Tuesday, breezy and 66. Clouds and 56 on Tuesday night. Wednesday, partly sunny, 72. The record on Wednesday, 74 from 1971. It's going to be close. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is a cloudy sky. Right now, 61. The feels like is 53 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Gotta let it play out. Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Happy Monday. Happy President's Day. A few minutes past 2 p.m. One of the coolest things about my job in my life is I've been a lifelong musician. And since I got the show, I've been good friends with all the guys and ladies in town. And they're like brothers and sisters to me. Jason Nelson is live in studio with us. Jason, of all of my rock star friends, you know, in a band with Jimmy Griffin for 10 years, you may have the best stage presence.
Oh my gosh!
At least the most out. Like
very kind. Thank you.
Rach and I were at the Mardi Gras party the other day. We're the Grand Marshals
for the doggies.
The real one,
Dave
the
was
main
the
one.
Grand Marshal. Andrew and I were tagging along,
and I didn't have my glasses on, so I'm like, "Oh, the band's starting," and I couldn't tell who you were because I didn't have my glasses on. But the minute you started moving, I'm like, "That's Jason Nelson."
Yeah.
That's Jason Nelson.
Yeah, thank you.
And you know what, Dave? You remember we went out to Diamond Music Hall?
Sure do.
I guess it was early 2021, and this was like the first time I had really done anything after COVID, and because Tony's band was playing out there with Somebody to Love. That was seriously one of the best shows of my life because I was just so excited to be out, and you guys were so dynamic and so good. Like I was just thrilled to be there.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Good time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, you can leave now that we gassed you.
Jason's the best.
Someone's going to go see him and be like, this guy sucks.
All the oxygen out of the
But
room.
no, it was seriously like we were seeing Queen. Like for
It was
real.
great.
Yeah. That show, we have just celebrated our 9-year anniversary, and Somebody to Love, a tribute to Queen, is still rocking after all these years. And it is, for the most part, the same core group of people, as you know.
That's cool.
The ebb and flow of musicians and people you work with, they come and go, but this crew is stuck together, and it is a labor of love at this point. You know, we do really well.
Yeah.
The community's adopted the band. They show up and show out for us, and we are just so grateful to.
I love the way you do it. Like my band plays Queen, and I love singing Freddie Mercury, but I can't sing the stuff you do. I can sing the lower register stuff, but you do it. Like you guys do it. That takes some guts.
2 years of there's like a 2-year timeline on a lot of my projects that come to fruition. But when I started down this road, I had I wanted to do Bicycle Race, and I wanted to do Bohemian Rhapsody in its full sonic entirety, not stripped down or not using backing tracks, which I do with other groups, and I'm not throwing shade, but this tribute, I wanted to be as close to the albums as I could get them. And that necessitated me bringing in extra chorus singers. And we have 10 people on stage, and they are from all different walks of life and backgrounds. And when we did the first 6 months of rehearsals, it took us 6 months in a basement to get it right. And our first show, I was so proud. We did it at a venue in the Grove. Now it's shuttered. It was the Ready Room. Now it's called Hot Java. But yeah, like I got halfway through that show. Just I'll pull back the curtain here, and I ran out of gas. I was like, I'm sucking air, and then that grew into, we drew 200 people at that show, and then we took it to Del Mar Hall, and now it's at a place in Granite City called The Mill on March 20th. But yeah, we're almost to capacity.
It's great.
Selling well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is that your most difficult vocal show that you do?
By far.
Yeah.
And with my other cover bands, I straight up say, I'm like, you guys want to hear some Queen? It's my favorite band of all time. Here we go. and the crowd, I have noticed when we do pull out Don't Stop Me Now or Fat Bottom Girls or Bohemian Rhapsody, even, people singing top of their voices.
Yeah.
They love to hear the Queen.
It's a little bit in the weeds for vocalists, but I don't know about you, but I'm a completely untrained vocalist. And I told you we're working up a couple of Beatles. We're doing a whole Beatles set at my next gig at Del Mar Hall, which we'll announce tomorrow. It'll be in April. And, John Lennon had a deceivingly high voice.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a couple spots where I'm like at my upper register. When that happens,
stop that guy.
When that happens to you, like with Freddie Mercury, do you have the know-how and the ability to push through that, or is your upper limit your upper limit?
That is interesting you say push, because that was what in my early years I thought was the inclination. You just take a deeper breath and push from the diaphragm. That's not the case. You got to pull back.
That's what Kelly Wilde always tells me.
Yeah, you just got to pull back and use that tech, use that mic. The microphones that I have invested in, the production, like you're playing Del Mar Hall, there's no better gear in town. They throw everything in the kitchen sink at the band on stage. It sounds so great. And when I have to go there, if I'm sick, then I'll pull back and get in the head voice and then really get down and gruff on the lower parts and power through that. But yeah, being as you well know, a guitar player, having your calluses come off, or a singer that has a cold, there's you just got to push in regard to like the performance.
Yeah.
But nothing. I think my bandmates can say the show is always going to happen. There are some people in town that are like, I'm not feeling it, and they'll cancel a show. I don't cancel shows. I try not to. But
you're like an old school Vegas guy or something. The guy from the Catskills.
And there are, I have the pleasure of performing with 25 musicians in town, and they rely on me.
Yeah.
And out of respect to them and the people at the venues and the ticket sales that have transpired on these special events, I try not to let them down.
So we're talking to our buddy Jason Nelson here. So you have the Queen tribute, Somebody to Love, coming up on March 30th. Is that right?
It is Friday, March 20th.
Good. This says 30th to make sure that doesn't get out there. So the 20th in Granite City, the Mill Event Center. And then what else you have coming up next few weeks?
So the Friday, so let's start this Friday. So this Friday, February 20th, the Retro Nerds, my 80s tribute show, is doing an 80s roller skating party.
Wow.
At the Sovereign.
That's a
which is
flashback.
2 blocks east of the Fox on Washington Avenue.
I should go there for old times and get ignored by girls.
I grew up West County guy, went to Saints roller skating rink when I was growing up.
Yeah.
That's where I learned to roller skate and to get ignored by girls.
yes. I was only really good at one of those.
That's where I played a lot of Galaga. Remember that? Yeah, Pac-Man. But we're doing that roller skating party, and doors are at 6, show at 7. The cool thing about this event is that you come as you are. If you don't want to roller skate, you don't have to. But in the ticket price, we partnered with Skate Culture, which is a company that's going to provide all the roller skates.
Cool.
So if you want to roller skate, they'll have you in, any size, from kids to adult sizes. Yeah, it's great.
Fun.
All ages.
Kevin, can you skate?
Back in the day a little bit. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I haven't probably done. You know what? I think the last time I did it was like at a birthday party for my kid's friend.
Yeah.
And everybody went, and I damn near tore up my knee.
Was ice skating mandatory in Michigan?
Not mandatory, but it was expected.
Right. So you can skate a little bit?
Yeah. But I mean, like not officially trained, didn't play real hockey, but pond hockey every night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I couldn't stop very well. I could go fast, but I couldn't stop. Had to run into things.
I can't skate a lick.
Yeah.
Rollerblading? No.
Never did that one. Never did the inline skates. Only the old school roller skates and then ice skates.
Yeah. Speaking of getting rejected by women, the one and only time I rollerbladed, I met a young lady out at not 64 West, Marriott West, when Boom was playing.
Oh, yeah.
And she was a big inline skater. So we're going to meet the next day in Forest Park and do it. I didn't own skates. I had no money and I couldn't skate. So I went and bought inline skates with whatever. I mean, literally spent my last like $60.
Oh my God.
And lied that I could skate. Met her, skated for about 10 feet. And she just, it's true story. She just skated off without me. Like she saw that I could not skate and she just kept going.
It's like, well, that's over.
I never blamed her.
Heart broken. What?
Never blamed
Who
her.
does that?
You should have just brought your bike. Like, I'll ride next to you.
That was the same place where like a week before that, I was talking to a girl and I told her that her accent was lovely. And she said, I don't have an accent. I'm deaf.
Oh, no. Dave.
Did you at least say I said lovely?
I don't know what I said. I probably just rollerbladed away. That's Jason Nelson. Jason, any websites to go to?
Lastly, March 14, Friday, March 14, Gratitude House is doing the Gimme Shelter charity benefit show for substance abuse support.
Cool.
In the St. Louis community. This has they have a home in St. Louis County that accommodates 20, I believe, and it is without charge. If you are a woman that wants to either, seek substance abuse recovery services, you want to rehome, you want to go back to college, you want to get a job, they will help you with all facets of your recovery. And Gratitude House, STL.org is where you can find tickets to this show at the Grandel.
Oh, nice room.
The Jason Nelson Band with the Intagliata Foundation, Sean and Chris brought the Jason Nelson Band in. All the sponsors curated the set list. So they chose the Rolling Stone tunes, the Elton John, the Beatles, the Queen, Train. It goes far and wide. And the band's going to do 3 hours of their total requests.
That's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I have to steal that.
And
a lot. I like it.
They're thrilled. We're thrilled. The Grandel 500 capacity theater. If you've not been there, it's super old school. The stage juts into the crowd. They've got a balcony with those horseshoe booths. You know, it's unique.
like old mobster.
It's old school. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
How many of you think taxes will go up in the future? And if they do, who will get hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Thursday, February 19th or Tuesday, February 24th. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Welcome to Radio Rental. The scariest stories you've ever heard in your life. All told by real people. And off we go.
This wasn't a human being that I saw. There's something here in this house, something not of this world.
There was a woman moving through the hall. I stepped back and I was completely alone.
Radio Rental is available now. Listen for free on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
100 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors. A century of trust in St. Louis. Always look for the iconic red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for same-day repair service and no extra charge for evening or Saturday service. Trust your friends at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. That's overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
In afternoon programming for American radio. The program is called At Your Service.
Among those voices, Mike Kelly.
Kaufman at the 11. Kaufman hurdles man at the 5, fighting for the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, March 7th at the Residence Inn by Marriott, St. Louis Westport in St. Louis. Weight loss hypnosis starts at 11 a.m. Registration at 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking starts at 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 223. It's always a weird day when Andrew's gone. He is the he's either the ketchup or the hot sauce of the DGS. I'm not sure which, but he's definitely the stuff you dip the other stuff in. So he was here a little bit earlier today, and but he's off for President's Day. The story I was just telling you, Wheels, it's so much worse than what I described. So not only had I never been any kind of skating, I didn't know that a skating rink existed. This is how out of it we were in my little town. We were just completely, if you're from South Roxana, you stay in South Roxana. So I didn't know about the skating rink. And in 6th grade, we went, and a bunch of my friends could skate. They knew about it. And we had a teacher who was there for half the year because our teacher had like a heart attack or something.
Oh.
And everyone loved her. She just like that teacher, right? And so the skates had that rubber thing on the front, the stopper.
Yeah.
That was my goer. The only thing I could do was
walk on your
push
toes.
off on that.
Yeah.
Let entropy take me to a stop and like along the wall, just like scaling it like Spider-Man. And then it was couple skate. And I was going to skate out and ask this teacher to skate with me. Pretty big move for me.
Yeah, that's bold.
Thank you. And so I start heading out there, and I'm cutting across, the big circle whipping around. And as soon as I got to her, another kid whose last name was Hamburger pulled up, grabbed her, and took off with a couple skate. So now I'm stuck in the exact middle of the floor.
No.
And there's just this cyclone of 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible.
And you don't know what you're doing, so you don't know how you're going to get out of there.
I have no idea.
I definitely think because I learned the ice skating before I ever went on a roller rink. But I think, there's no question it helps. But I mean, I learned because we just, my neighbor 2 doors down, they would freeze their backyard every year. We just go play hockey on the backyard pond.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And that's how I just learned that. So you learn by basically just falling on your ass all the time.
Yeah.
And in that setting, you don't really care. It's just you and, a couple of your friends, and you fall.
Yeah.
So then you get decent at it. And then the roller skating thing, I wasn't good at it, but I was good enough. I could do the loops and I could slow down, but stopping, I kind of had to bump into something.
Yeah. The next time I was rejected by a woman at a skating rink, it was my daughter. And she was a skater. She would appear in we went skating every week. She was in shows. Like, she was never like a figure skater going to the Olympics, but she's a really good skater. And she was probably 7 or 8. And we all go to this kind of jacked up skating thing that they put out in Darden Prairie, like just kind of threw it together. And I'm terrible. And it's clear I'm terrible. And at one point, Nick and I got a hold of each other like a hockey fight. And this is true. This is true. We struggled to not fall for at least 60 seconds. And it was we looked like a spider. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. And one of my friends from Autovane was there watching. I didn't know he was there. He's like, that's the most magnificent thing I've ever seen. And so I'm waiting for Phoebe to come around, and I'm going to skate with her. And here she comes, and we lock eyes. And then it happened. She just looked away from me.
Oh, yeah.
And just kept on skating.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't think there's a dad out.
Heartbroken.
I don't think there's a dad out there that hasn't gotten that treatment from son or daughter.
Happened
at some
a little
point.
early for me, but then again,
just pretend they don't know you.
And anytime I bring it up, she's like, "Dad, you've seen yourself skate. Like, you almost killed my brother."
That's funny.
Did you guys skate?
Yeah. My brother played hockey for a little bit,
Man,
and
things
then
are good and Grafton.
I took ice skating lessons for maybe like a month or so. But we used to like to go to old ice rink at Eastgate.
There was an ice rink at Eastgate?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's still open.
I don't remember that.
I don't really hang out in East Alton that much anymore, but I mean, it was open 10 years ago, I'm pretty sure.
To me, Eastgate, there's a Pantera's Pizza there, Wheels in the corner. And right next to it was a head shop for potheads. And a lot of the potheads worked at Pantera's.
Oh.
But I love Pantera's, but I feared potheads. So you got Got to keep your head on a swivel. Got to cross your T's and dot your I's with those people. I'll tell you that for free. Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. It is February, so it's all about love. And Universal Windows Direct is showing you a little bit of love with a really great deal. If you're interested in replacement windows, I'm going to guess that our competitors are going to have deals. So you're going to have to do a couple things. You're going to have to, first of all, decide which company you really want to work with, which one you feel the most comfortable with. And that's going to come down to the human beings who you interact with at Universal Windows Direct and any other window company where you get a bid. And I can't control that. All I can do is try to give you enough information where you put us in the mix and you call them and you get a bid, and then they're either going to win your business or lose it based on their merits. Right now, they have a great deal. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free with no limit. 36 months, same as cash, 0% financing. $500 off your total bill when all is said and done. Locally, call 314-334-2522 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com.
Amy,
yes.
I have a real beef with bathroom doors in hotels. The stupid sliding door. No, give me a fully shut door, because the sliding door, you know what happens? There's always a gap.
There's a gap.
And so if you have a partner with you in the hotel room, there are sounds and smells and steam.
It puts a new meaning to the word butt crack.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
It's a holiday for a lot of folks, and it's a delightful afternoon. Sunny skies, 66 for the high, way above average. Some clouds and chilly tonight, but not really cold. 42 for the overnight low. Tuesday, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Tuesday, breezy and 66. Clouds and 56 on Tuesday night. Wednesday, partly sunny, 72. The record on Wednesday, 74 from 1971. It's going to be close. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Okay, I know Valentine's Day is over, but I just wanted to talk about Valentine's Day at Schnucks one last time. Went into Schnucks, I guess, Friday morning to pick up a couple of things, and there were just so many great things for Valentine's Day. The floral department was out of control. There were so many different things to choose from. Balloons as well as flowers. And then, of course, the bakery had tons of great stuff, too. What I'm saying is, even though it's not Valentine's Day anymore, whatever the holiday is coming up, if you need to get a sweet treat or a little gift for someone in your life, Schnucks is a really convenient option when it comes to picking up a gift. And you know it's going to be great quality, too, and at a great price. Once again, I just absolutely love the floral department at Schnucks. That's where I get my flowers for all of the people in my life. And I'm always happy with what I'm able to get. Plus, I use my Schnucks Rewards app whenever I shop, and that earns me 2% cash back on every single purchase. Go download it today. It's the Schnucks Rewards app.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley. I'm in Jupiter, Florida, covering Cardinals spring training as the Redbirds get ready for a new season.
Listen for Matt's Reports Daily. Sponsored by St. Louis Composting and Happy Roof on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Bernie Miklasz on KMOX is sponsored by Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the Bagel Loan, and by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Bernie Miklasz joins us. Hey, Bern.
Good afternoon on this Monday. Hope everybody's doing well.
Yeah, Wheels just announced that this past weekend was the last weekend that we will be without baseball games until the end of the next World Series.
Of some kind. Like All-Star weekend, it's going to be All-Star stuff, but it's still baseball stuff. Yeah.
No, I know what you meant. I like it. I'm in favor. I vote in favor of that.
Now we got to work on the 12-month plan, Bern.
Yeah, I don't know how that'll turn out. Well, yeah, I don't know how it'll turn out after 2026, but we can keep our baseball hopes going.
You know, I'm going to say the dumbest thing, the most obvious thing, but it's interesting to me because it seems that this upcoming season is so, who knows? But the interesting thing to me is it's going to go one way or the other. Like, we're going to find out. Either this team's going to win 80 games and like, oh my God, that's fantastic, or it's going to be in the 60s and, oh, that didn't go the way we thought it was. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be fun just to watch it come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, you know, I have some early opinions on what I expect, and it's not a prediction. Like, for example, you know, frankly, I think the offense is not going to be very good unless there's some real surprises. And that's not me being Mr. Meanie. It's just the offense was, frankly, terrible last year if you go by statistics and you go by the National League ranking. And then, you know, you don't have Donovan in that lineup or Contreras, and Arenado was declining, but he could hit left-handed pitching okay. And so you're going to be relying on a lot of guys who were part of last year's team who weren't very good offensively, and some who were good. But I've been looking at projections over the weekend, and they're only projections, and I didn't really like what I saw. You know, there's a lot of skepticism about their offense. But that doesn't mean anything. To your point, Dave, and to say what managers have said forever is like, hey, that's why you play the games. Then you'll find out, to your point. And then I actually feel really good about the starting pitching, and I'm not saying that you're going to have a couple of those guys like getting Cy Young votes. I'm not saying that at all. But if you realize last year, I'll give you one stat. If you realize last year, when Andre Pallante, Miles Mikolas, or Eric Fetty started a game, the Cardinals won. They started 81 games between them. The Cardinals only won 31 of those games.
Man.
So now the Cardinals have, you know, a lot of new arms because of Chaim Bloom. Some of the trades they made, they're going to have a starting pitcher pool that when Hunter Dobbins gets back, he's one of the guys I got from Boston. He's recovering from, you know, knee surgery. He's almost back. But they're going to have a starting pitcher pool about 7-8 guys. And there's even a couple more behind that. There are going to be so many more options to this rotation than they had last year. And we already know that they know how to find relievers, and we also know that Ali Marmol is really good at it. And the one thing I'd like to see the Cardinals do is increase their capability on the bases, stealing bases, pushing it on the bases. But again, if you go back to last year, the Cardinals were like the 4th or 5th slowest team in baseball. They're just not very athletic.
And you know, there's a case to be made. And again, the problem is it's not based on history. It's not based on like, we know this is coming. It's more of the potential. But there's a case to be made that the offense that we saw in the second half was severely diminished because Brendan Donovan was terrible because he was dealing with an injury, and Lars Nootbaar was terrible because he was dealing with the bad feet. There were guys that are decent players, and some of them are no longer here, like Wilson Contreras is no longer here, but some of those guys were playing in diminished capacities of their own capabilities, which led to some of that. So I don't know, is Weatherholt better than a diminished Donovan? Don't know, because we never seen it, but there's a pretty good chance that he's going to be better than Donovan was last year. Even if it's just because Donovan played 3 months with bad body, you know, I mean, not because of any skill problems, but just because he wasn't healthy for the second half of the year. And that's the problem, is it's the stretch after that, right? Well, is Nolan Gorman possibly the 2023 guy? Can Victor Scott be league average? Can Jordan Walker be league? We have no idea. They all have the ability to do those things. And it's the great unknown, which is what 2026 is all about.
Yeah, and I'm obviously really huge Weatherholt fan. Who's not? I mean, he's an exciting player, and Chaim Bloom, was just gushing him over the weekend. But it was interesting. I'm looking at the projections, and I only do that because I find them interesting. I don't consider them gospel by no means. I was surprised that the projections for him offensively were kind of, they're not bad, that type of thing.
Right.
I actually think he'll exceed those projections, but it is a reminder to me, to be reasonable about what to expect from him in his first brush with Major League pitching.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't think anybody should sit there and say he's going to be an all-star right away. But when you look at his track record, usually there's kind of like a discount as you go up, right? The more you go up, the more your numbers are discounted a little bit. I mean, he's over 900 OPS last year. That still translates to well above average in the big leagues as a rookie. The question is how much, right? Are you 5% above? Are you 20% above? And 20 is probably more down the road.
So we've talked about the rotation. What does the bullpen look like to you guys?
Oh, I got faith in them because they're collecting relievers, and they've already got a pretty good set of them down there. And if you go back to last year, they traded Ryan Helsley, and they traded Phil Maton, and they traded Steven Matz, and all three of those guys were very important. What they did, the bullpen actually was better after that. Not because that's a shot at those guys. It's just a testament to how deep the Cardinals are in terms of having relievers on call, and also how good Oli Marmol is at running a bullpen. So, and Chaim Bloom's been bringing in, people left and right, because he believes they can fill, they can fit a bullpen role this year. And see, the thing with the bullpen, it's always fluid. It's always transient in that teams go through a lot of different relievers. They're up and they're down. They're up and they're down. They go to Memphis, they come back, that kind of thing. But I have no reason to be pessimistic about the bullpen, because I just think there's enough talent there, and there's enough of supply there, and there's a manager who knows what he's doing there.
And it's not much different, because the one area, Bern, you talked a lot about how they handle the pen. I think they've also, this is, all the things that went wrong in the previous regime under Mo, one of the things they were always good at was the bullpen. They were always good at developing their own guys that become impact relievers, whether it was Rosenthal or Helsley or Mott or whatever. They were really good at doing that. Even a guy like Fernando Salas, who, wasn't a big name, but he was a closer for you for a while, an effective reliever. They were always pretty good at that, and I don't think that that's changed here. That's a lot of the same guys, and this is the one part of the staff in recent years where they do have stuff. You've got guys that throw 100 miles an hour, and you got a bunch of them. Swanson's not 100, but he's mid to upper 90s. And JoJo as a lefty is, close to mid 90s. And now you're bringing in a guy like Ryan Stanek, who throws mid to upper 90s, and George Soriano throws mid to upper 90s. So that's one thing where they have actually been kind of modern, so to speak, with guys in the pen.
And I think that the repertoire will expand this year too, because I think we talked about this on Rush Hour Friday.
Yeah.
Rob Sarfolio, who's basically second in command to Chaim Bloom, and he's brilliant. He was part of that Cleveland group for 10 years. All they did was find pitching, and people were like, how did they do that? And Rob Sarfolio is a big believer in a pitch. For people that aren't hardcore baseball fans, he's a big believer in the pitch called the cutter. And what that does is, if they got a guy throwing 95, but there's just like, well, wait a minute. He's got to have something different that's going to separate his cutter from his slider. It's not like, well, they think they're counting on the slider to come in because he's never thrown a cutter, which is somewhat similar, but just somewhat. So all of a sudden he's got that extra pitch, and it's the hitters have a lot more to think about, and they're not sure what they're seeing. They had great success doing that. And I don't know how many here, but they will be introducing the cutter to some of their relievers and to some of their starters, because that's what Rob Sarfolio's history told us in Cleveland, and it was a positive history.
Yeah, it's a great pitch for guys that don't spin it well. right? There are guys that can really spin a breaking ball, that can really spin a slider. And for those guys, it can have a different purpose, the cutter can, but it's really good for guys that are not great at spinning it, but they need something that moves to their glove side. And that gives you, so if you're a fastball changeup guy, if you add a cutter, now you've got pitches that are going in both directions, and you're giving more to do that. Now, the guys we're talking about, Bern, the hard throwers often are the guys that have some trouble spinning it because they've always relied on velocity their whole lives, and they're not as adept at, like, when you're in high school and college, why would you throw a bunch of breaking balls when you throw 97? You're just going to blow people away.
Yeah, that's why when real quick, when they got Soriano and people for some reason were freaking out. I had no idea why. They really wanted him, and I have to believe that they're going to have Mr. Soriano start throwing the cutter. And if he does, now all of a sudden against left-handed hitters, he's got a great changeup. All of a sudden, he's got a really good arsenal that'll get people off his fastball. So I mean, you just got to kind of. Well, the one thing I've learned, about Bloom, and I think we all have to change our mindset collectively, fans, media, whomever, is that when you see the Cardinals make a move, when you see them pick up a guy, you got to understand this is Chaim Bloom and Rob Cerfolio doing this.
Right.
It's not the previous regime. In
Right.
other words, these guys have a reason to covet a certain relief pitcher. The rest of us will look at the relief pitcher like Soriano and say, what? I don't get it. What's the big deal? They've been trying to get this guy for like 2 years, and they finally got him. And they gave up a reliever. Relievers are fungible. There were more than 700 relievers in Major League Baseball last year. You can always find relievers. They got a guy they wanted. Let's see if they can rebuild his pitching arsenal and make him a much better reliever. So don't judge their moves by what we're used to, because this is a whole new regime, and they have much different ideas about putting a roster together.
Yeah, and I know it's hard because it's still the same team. You see the uniform is the same, but it is a completely different set of people making evaluations. And it's also like as a fan, this is advice. This is not criticism for fans. This is advice. This year should not be about micromanaging and overanalyzing everything based on whether it helps you now or not. That has nothing to do with anything. This year is about your jumping off point for the long term. It's the cornerstone year. You're setting a foundation. You're trying to find the players that are going to be around long term that fit the things. So the difference between winning 67 games and winning 77 games, to me, I couldn't care less. unless I put a bet on it down the road, in which case I'll have a slight rooting interest. But even then, it's a cursory interest. This year is not about the win total.
Yeah, I think I said it Friday on Rush Hour, and I'll say it again if I didn't say it Friday. I don't care how many games they win. I simply do not care. That's not what this season's all about. I hope they win more games.
Of course,
but if they don't, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. What matters is developing these players and finding out more about them.
Bern, tell us about Saliga.
You got it. Saliga Heating and Cooling at Daikin Comfort Dealer has been helping St. Louisans for 100 years. The same family of Saligas. Dan Saliga is the fourth owner, operator of this family business. And the Miklas family, we've been calling the Saliga family for about 18, 19 years now. And so I think I'm qualified to talk about how great they are, and they are great. In our experience, Saliga's always look for low-cost solutions, save us money. They're prompt, they're reliable. They come into your home, they're classy. They explain everything. They don't try to rush through things. They don't try to talk you into something. They're not trying to hustle you. They'll take all the time in the world to answer your questions. They'll explain every option. And if you want them to explain it again when you're trying to make a decision, they'll explain it and talk you through it step by step, slowly, and with patience. And you're never going to feel like you're being rushed into a decision. They're just excellent at what they do. And you got to ask yourself, if they're still in business and going strong 100 years after opening, I mean, gosh, doesn't that kind of tell you all you need to know? I mean, that's the way I look at it. But I can assure you, those very high Saliga heating and cooling standards remain very much in place, and have really remained in place through the generation. So why don't you go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com and you'll find out more there, including the phone number, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Is your furnace on its last legs? Don't wait for a cold night to find out. Jerry Kelly and KMOX are giving you the chance to win a brand new furnace this winter season. Just go online to KMOX.com/contest through March 1st and nominate someone who you think deserves a brand new furnace. Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. Win a brand new furnace. For more information and contest rules, just head to KMOX.com/contest.
So sometimes when I do my live for the Gelman team, real estate team, I will talk about, the upcoming season. It's going to be this or it's going to be that, or we don't know what it's going to be. But let me just talk about the Gelman team itself. It is a finely tuned machine. It is, they have a couple dozen agents in addition to Mark and Neil. Nick worked there for a couple of years, so I kind of know it from the inside. And I know how driven they are, how seriously they take every single transaction, how they pride themselves on having more information because they have more resources and they just work a little harder than the competition. They are really, really good negotiators, and that does not mean that they're mean or aggressive or it's sort of a Trumpian kind of start really high and then come down. They're really smart about it. They know how psychologically to set a price that is 100% to get you the most amount of money. So bottom line, if you want the easiest, least BS on your part home sale for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time, I've done it 3 times now. I think I can state this. Go with the Gelman team. You want to find out what we think your house is worth right now? You can do it online. Just put your address in where it says the front page of thegelmanteam.com when you're ready to talk. 314-336-1991.
Certain restrictions apply. SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Welcome back, DGS. Weird show today. Just kind of a lazy river of a show because it is a national holiday and we're the only ones in the building. And Andrew is doing whatever Andrew does when he's not here, living adventures so he can come in and tell us about them tomorrow. Wheels, I had a question for you, a sports-related question. So all these players from the NHL are now coalesced into the USA team and the Canada team.
Yes.
And I think last night was the NBA All-Star game.
Yep.
And sometimes in the middle of a season, an NFL wide receiver will go from the Arizona Cardinals to the Green Bay Packers. So obviously there's some commonality in offenses and defenses and plays. And like, I've just never understood how you could just mesh like that and become a team in a couple of weeks.
A lot of the stuff, a lot of the basics are just common concepts, and teams build specifically off of that based on the talent that they have. So, I mean, it's more complex than I'm about to describe it, but this is the basis of it. Like when you're a kid playing basketball, you can play zone defense. You can play a 1-3-1. You can play a 1-2-2. You can play a matchup zone with one person chasing a guy and 4 people. Like those are understood basics. And it's obviously way more complicated than that when you're talking about the highest level, but they all have similar concepts. So like when you hear a Tony Romo or a Tom Brady on a broadcast, they know what the teams are running on offense because they might have called it something different, but they had the same concept in their offense. So a lot of times it's just the terminology that changes, but the ideas are all similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
in hockey, again, the same idea. Teams have a way that they want to coordinate a rush. They have a way they want to enter the zone. They have a way they want to set up the offense and the way where they're trying to feed the puck. And it all has similar ideas. And now you're just doing it in this case with much more talented players. So more guys can do more things.
Makes sense.
But it is a challenge, though. It is a challenge to get guys all on the same page in a sport like hockey and a sport like basketball, even football, where things are happening really fast. In baseball, it's a lot more individual matchups where defense is more like you have a plan, but it's really you go get the ball when it's hitting your general direction.
Yeah.
And you align yourself based on the way you're told to align yourself from the analytics department, from your coaching staff or whatever. So I think baseball probably is the easiest for an all-star format, with maybe the challenge being the relationship between catcher and pitchers, where the catcher kind of has to know what pitchers like and so on.
Yeah, it's been kind of daunting for me playing baseball again with the 60 and over team, because I think I'm the only guy on the team that didn't play at least college ball.
You got a good group of players.
Everyone
in your group,
played college. A few guys played pro for a while. And I was a good little player, but I was never taught anything.
Right.
And I realize now that I can play a game. I played 1 million games, but they were 99% sandlot. And so in this situation, if the ball's hit to left field, I don't know that stuff.
Yeah.
I can fake it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can run out there and go cutoff man. But
So if you're playing first base this year and you've never played there before, what do you do on a ball hit to right center field and a runner on second base?
Run in the dugout.
That's going to be the challenge, because you got to be the cutoff man. That means you've got to get in line between the thrower and home plate because you're the relay guy going home.
Perfect.
So that's that's stuff that if you play organized long enough, you get taught.
But if push comes to shove, I can always pull my quad.
You can always go down.
Jefferson Starship, the Runaway Again Tour. Saturday, September 26th, the Family Arena. Also featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall, and Orleans. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Jefferson Starship, featuring Atlanta Rhythm Section, Firefall, and Orleans.
Sawyer Brown. Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do. And Lone Star. Every little thing that you do. Baby, I'm a live Saturday, March 14th, the Family Arena. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Sawyer Brown and Lone Star together live.
Let me tell you guys about Dr. Corey Solman, my orthopedic surgeon. He is a super nice guy, and that matters because when you are discussing something like getting a knee replacement or a hip replacement for you or your elderly loved one who may be really afraid of going under general anesthetic, or maybe it's for a young person who's like a little 12-year-old soccer player and tore an ACL or an MCL, and you want someone who can connect with them, not a cold fish, not a God complex surgeon, not someone who's just very cold and austere. That's Corey. He's very cool. He's very nice. He's very funny. He also happens to be one of the very best surgeons in the Midwest. I know so many doctors. As you know, I do lives for many, many doctors, and they send patients back and forth. And all the doctors I know, when someone comes in or they say, hey, by the way, my mom, I think she needs a knee replacement, always send them to Dr. Corey Solman. He's out in Chesterfield. When you call, make sure you let him know that you're from the show because he and I are good buddies. 636-231-5881 or Solman, SOLMAN, SolmanOrthopedics.com.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, it is 62 degrees downtown at the Arch.
KMOX is covering breaking news.
A shooting at an ice rink in Rhode Island. 1 person killed, 4 injured, according to WPRI in Providence. Let's listen in to our CBS affiliate there.
Sometime soon with more official information on what exactly unfolded here inside of Lynch Arena here in Pawtucket. But that is the very latest here, live on the scene. So we'll send it back to you in studio.
Kim, thank you. That really points to just this entire situation, that there are hockey players standing at the Walgreens in their socks because they abandoned their skates in the middle of their senior game.
Afraid.
Because of a shooting at an ice rink in the middle of their senior night game. It just really, I think, puts it into perspective. Again, we are reporting on a shooting just months after the Brown University shooting. If you're just joining us, this shooting happened just after 2 o'clock during a high school hockey game at Lynch Arena in Pawtucket. As Kim mentioned, it is vacation week. It is a holiday weekend. So you have to imagine that this game was well attended. Children, parents in the audience, families. We know of 4 people hurt, the shooter dead, and 1 other person dead at this hour.
And those victims are at Rhode Island Hospital right now. These are one of the nights that you remember for the rest of your life, your senior night, if you're an athlete, and you kind of take that with you. So, of course, we have team coverage of this shooting in Pawtucket. We have reporters down.
This is WPRI in Providence, Rhode Island, reporting on breaking news of a shooting at an ice rink during a senior hockey game in Rhode Island. We'll have the latest as it becomes available through the afternoon.
CBS News special report. Actor Robert Duvall has died. One of his best remembered roles was as the Corleone family's attorney in the Godfather films of the 1970s. He's heard here with Marlon Brando.
Now you've had your drink. They shot Sonny on the causeway. He's dead.
Duvall received an Oscar nomination for that role, but did not win. Correspondent Steve Kathan.
Director Francis Ford Coppola once praised Robert Duvall as one of the 4 or 5 best actors in the world. The actor, however, was far more modest.
Well, that's all relative. It's all a matter of opinion, you know.
Asked what the secret of his success was, Duvall replied, communication.
Talking and listening. That's the beginning and the end.
Duvall finally won an Oscar for his portrayal as an alcoholic country singer in 1983's Tender Mercies. His wife says Robert Duvall died peacefully at home yesterday. He was 95. CBS News special report. I'm Peter King.
Well, even a steady cold rain could not keep Mardi Gras revelers from attending this year's Grand Parade. Thousands of people still packed the streets of Soulard.
The weather changed the look of the day, but it didn't change the spirit at all. People just showed up in boots and ponchos and leaned into it, having as much fun as any other year.
Mardi Gras Foundation's Beth McCoy tells KMOX the Mayor's Ball benefits community improvement grants for Soulard and downtown normally, but this year was different. Proceeds are going to the tornado recovery effort.
This year, there was an opportunity to give back to the entire community where we really need it most.
The amount of money to be donated is still being tallied. Maria Kina, KMOX News.
No stock report today because of the holiday, but check with KMOX tomorrow for hourly Stiefel updates when the markets reopen. Traffic, we've got some debris on 6440 west at Mason. The right two lanes are closed to stall vehicle. 44 east at Washington. Another stall 70 westbound at Mid Rivers Mall Drive. And we've also got a stall 270 south at 44.
Lots of sunshine around town on this Monday afternoon, President's Day. It's nice. 66 for the high tonight. Some clouds around and chilly 42 Tuesday. Partly to mostly cloudy and breezy 66 on Tuesday. Nowhere near a record. The record Tuesday is 77. Tuesday night clouds and 56. Wednesday partly sunny. How about a high Wednesday of 72 degrees? 74 is the record from 1971. So we have a shot of that on Wednesday afternoon. There are no big storms in sight. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is 62 degrees. The feels like it's 54 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy President's Day. Happy Monday. Andrew will be back tomorrow. Everyone but us is off. So I was just telling Maria Kina, I've always been really aware of my situations, my surroundings. And for example, I always found Christmas morning magical because I was a kid. I typically wasn't up before dawn. So mornings were sunny. And on Christmas, I was up during the night. And so there's just something about the lighting on Christmas morning in the living room and like the sun's not out, you know what I mean? And there was something very special and haunting about being at your school at night, like for a wrestling match or for a teacher parent or something, or if you'd see your teacher at Kmart, just like, this is not right.
So weird.
And that's how today feels. It's not that big of a change, because there are differing levels of how many people are here besides us, but there's like no one here.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So it's just like a weird feeling, and Andrew's gone. So it just kind of feels like make them up time. Just make them up.
We're not even really on the air right now.
I'm really trying. This isn't a real show.
Is this real life?
No.
I don't think so.
It's not.
By the way, that's one of the greatest memes / videos of all time. The kid who had his had like wisdom teeth removed, and he's like, is this real life?
Okay.
Because he's still so stoned.
I saw a video this weekend of someone who had their wisdom teeth taken out and they went through the Chick-fil-A drive-through, but the cow mascot was working that day.
Oh, no.
And the kid was just losing their mind. I also saw a video.
In a good or a bad way?
Oh, in a good way.
Okay.
Like they were laughing. And then I saw another video. This guy gave his dad a gummy and they went to the art museum. Do you know what I'm talking about, Wheels? There was like a giant table and chairs on display, and the dad was laughing so hard he was crying. It was just like, it's so funny. It's so funny.
There are a couple of them. I saw one of those similar to that, Rach, where it was a grandfather, not that old, probably in his 60s, but he thought the gummies that he found were just candy, and he ate like 4 of them.
Oh, no.
It was the funniest. Like they tracked him over the course of the evening, and there was a point he He was just in his chair and he could not stop laughing. He just could not stop laughing. And then everybody else is laughing because he can't stop and he has no idea why he's laughing.
That's great.
He's like saying, I don't know why I'm laughing, and he can't stop.
Well, at least he was having a good time,
Yes.
not a bad time.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. When I asked my mom if she had ever been drunk, she said, one time I drank 3 iced tea glasses full of wine and I danced and I danced.
That sounds fun.
That's a lot of wine.
Yeah.
If I'm picturing like a regular iced tea glass.
Yeah.
Sounds like a rough
Like
morning.
6 glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Jack and Francis didn't drink. We had no alcohol. And it wasn't like they were sober. You know, there was no shenanigans like that. And we were surrounded by alcoholics. I mean, it was thick. Like every summer. Summer to me smells like beer and Bactine. That's summer. It's like everyone's parents but mine had an open beer. Just throwing them down.
My best friend as a kid, his dad used to play basketball with us while holding his beer.
Oh, sure.
He would play one-handed holding his beer. Yeah.
I remember like when they would get drunk enough because, you know, we would have a big barbecue and then we would start playing baseball in the sandlot field. And when the dads would get drunk enough, they'd come over and they'd be like, let me show you how to throw a curveball or let me show you how to hit a home run. And I was always just shocked at how terrible they were. Like they were just, and I don't know whether they were just not very athletic or they were drunk.
Just really.
Yeah. I just was like, you can't even stand up.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to hit a ball. But I was just so unimpressed with them. Although, let's do DJ's happy hour here. I'll start off kind of along those lines. I finally hit that age where I'm clocking my age and I'm starting to think things like this. I'm definitely a different person now at 61 than I was at like 31. And I learned my lessons hard and I learned them late, but I definitely learned lessons. So I'm a smarter version of that guy before, but I'm still the same guy. And what being 61 is like my actual self is just riding along in this 61-year-old body. It's sort of like driving a really crappy car, right? You're like, I'm still me, even though I went from a Cadillac to a Prius.
I used to be faster.
I'm still here. But you're driving what you're driving.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a weird, I didn't feel that way in my 50s. I didn't feel that way until right now. And I'm trying to get in shape for like, you know, playing in the band and baseball season, all that kind of stuff, which you'll love this. I don't think I told you this, Wheels. I hadn't weighed in a week. And last week I didn't eat lunch at all. No lunches. So I figured, you've lost 5 or 6 pounds. So yesterday I get on the scale, but it was first thing in the morning. So I was kind of wobbly. And it showed I had lost 7 pounds. And I was so happy. But I kind of knew. I'm like, I don't think you lost 7 pounds. So I can either take the win and go on about my week, or I can weigh again. And I'd elected to weigh again. And I hadn't lost an ounce.
Yeah.
It was exactly what I weighed last time. I was just like weaving back and forth on my scale because it was first thing in the morning. And it's like, I don't know, 192.
Here's a guess.
We'll take a shot. But yeah, it's weird. Getting older is just weird.
It is. Dude.
Says the young one.
But I mean, in some
no,
ways,
you're older than
like,
you used to be. Yes,
I am. And then also I'm not, hitting a lot of these milestones that maybe people expect of a 34-year-old woman. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from, Dave. I get that we're in 2 different stages, but I feel maybe a lot of those same
stages are stages
and pressures and things. But I always just have to come back to myself and be like, okay, but I'm not at the end of the day, like you might feel like you're in the wrong body, but you're not your body. Like you are yourself, so just try to like mentally disconnect from that as much as you can.
Yeah. I remember my mom every now and then, like we'd take a picture and she would look at it and she would just marvel. She said, I just can't believe this is me. And I remember asking her one time, I said, well, how old do you feel? And she said, I feel 17. She was really active. And when my dad was in the Navy, she moved to St. Louis and she lived over by the Fox Theater. and they would take the trolley and they'd go riding their bikes through Forest Park. Like she was a St. Louisan for, a couple of years. And she talked about that being like the best part of her life, which, hurts your feelings as the son. But, like I knew I wasn't her favorite. So, but
jeez.
But no, it was just like, I get it. I understand. She was 95 years old at the time.
Yeah,
when you're 17.
When you're 17, 18, that's probably is your best time.
Yeah.
Best combination of like, all right, physically I can do anything I want to do.
Yeah. And
psychologically, you don't have that much pressure on you.
Yeah. Well, it's like, Phoebe has some trips coming up. And, like we're going here, we're going there, we're going to Vegas with a bunch of girls in our senior trip, and we're going to, Dominican Republic or this or that. And her mom is much smarter than I am. So she's always got a thumb on the scale, like, let's think about this. And I have a big thumb on the scale for, as long as it's not overtly dangerous, let's pay for her to go, because in 30 years, this will be the best part of her life. Right? Like, just lump all these experiences she can get, working on this place she's going to work for the summer. Doesn't like me saying too much. Doesn't like talking about her life too much. But yeah, I mean, you're probably like that with your daughter. Like, if in doubt, just do it.
Yeah.
Just, have the experience.
Sure.
It may be a crappy experience. You may regret it, but it'll be an experience that you can live on when you're 61.
I mean, there's only so many times where you actually are just like free to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like career stuff's not in the way. Family stuff's not in the way. I mean, like there are windows, and when you have a window, you take it.
Yeah. Nick says, getting in shape for baseball season? Yes. And it's less, Nick, about being better. It's about not feeling fat in my uniform. Same way as playing in the band.
Like, I thought it was about not pulling a quad as you're running.
God, no. No. It's all about how I look and feel. No. I'm not going to hit any home runs. And like playing in the band, same thing. I can play in the band in the physical shape I'm in right now, but I'll feel tubby on stage. So 2 months from now, I'll weigh 20, 25 pounds less. I just will. Done it a million times. Not healthily.
Well,
I'm like, all right. So what's the method? Is it just like no lunch?
You've seen me eat my last food.
Oh, I get you. Dave's just on the starvation plan. I can't do that, man.
Well, I was supposed to start walking today, and then something got in the way.
What?
My couch. It wouldn't let me go.
You set me up.
It just wouldn't let me go.
It's like it just grabbed my ankle. I'm like, no, sir, you're staying here.
You're starting tomorrow.
Whew, man.
Anything for a happy hour?
I would like to say rest in peace to Robert Duvall. What a wonderful actor.
Great actor.
So many great films. I like the way his face looks, honestly.
Yeah, I said this to Dave off the air just during a break. Yeah, you were in the room, Rach. But like, I feel like Robert Duvall was the same age for the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Like he always. I mean, I know he was older in more recent years, but he felt older when he was younger.
Yep.
And he seemed younger than he was when he was older.
I think it's because he was bald.
Like I
really do.
My first memories of him are really Godfather and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
And to me, in the last 20 years, he seemed like the same guy.
He is in a 1962 Twilight Zone where he's probably 25 and he looks 50.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, he was in To Kill a Mockingbird in 1962.
So it's one of those deals where it's like he probably didn't have, quote, the look when he was the young guy. He was just really talented. But then he just kind of stopped aging. Like he seemed like the same to me for 40 or 50 years. Like, it's Robert Duvall. He always looks like that.
Yeah.
He was great, man.
Man, I saw a report on Trump's arch he's wanting to build. 250 feet tall. The tallest structure in D.C., I believe, is what they said on the show, is the Capitol building, which is 288 feet. The White House is 70 feet. And he's talking about building this arch, which would be 250 feet, which is difficult to sort of picture in your mind. But the point is, it would be enormous. It would be a behemoth.
Okay, so we're calling it the Independence Arch.
I don't know. It's going to end up named after him. So,
and then they're also I'm trying to figure out what's real and what's not. Like what's rumor and what's not. But then they're gonna put a replica of the Statue of Liberty on top. Have you heard this?
Yeah,
that can't be right.
I know.
Okay, I'm looking at a mock-up that was posted to Truth Social on January 23rd, and it would have that gold detailing on it. I don't like that.
Had enough gold, LeMay.
Yeah,
had enough. Gonna need to just wash that stuff. Let me tell you about Charles D'Angelo. I was just talking about getting in shape, and the best way I know of, especially if you have, I want to lose about 20 pounds. That's not the end of the world. It's not the beginning of a new life. It's just like, we've all been there, right? Up or down. But some of you out there have 40, 50, 60, maybe 100 pounds. That can be super, super daunting because on any given day, when you do what you're supposed to do, when it comes to food and exercise, the next day you're not going to wake up 20 pounds lighter, right? And that can be very debilitating and just kind of crush your spirit. That's where Charles comes in. And you can borrow his confidence. You can borrow the confidence that he has, having helped thousands, literally thousands of people lose huge amounts of weight, get in the best shape of their lives, and throw in a little life wisdom along the way. So if I were you, because I know Charles, I've known him for 20 years, but if I were you and I didn't know of him, I would look at his resume. I would look at how many people and the kinds of people and the strata of people he works with internationally who have trusted him with their health. So if you're about to embark on what I'm about to embark on, maybe even a bigger lift, no pun intended, reach out to Charles. Have a conversation with him. You can meet with him in person. You can meet with him over Zoom. As he always says, the eating part, the working out part, that's simple. Anyone could tell you what to do. It's his ability to get you to the finish line. Go to charlesdangelo.com.
I'm Emma Grade, host of Aspire with Emma Grade, a podcast where I sit down with people who don't just dream big, they build big. From culture-shaping voices like Mel Robbins to leaders redefining success like Tracy Ellis Ross to game-changing entrepreneurs like Mark Cuban. Aspire is about mindset, ambition, and doing the work that actually moves the needle. If you're ready to raise your standards and take charge about the life and career you're building, Aspire is where you start. Follow and listen to Aspire with me, Emma Grade, an Odyssey podcast available wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for Zero Res. Zero Res wants to give your home a little extra love. This week only, Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $109 plus a 4th room for free. Book online by February 20th at ZeroResSTL.com.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Looking back, 3:23 on the dot. DJS, happy President's Day. Skip's going to be here at 4. Going to do the Sweet 16. It's one that Rage thought of last night. The Sweet 16 of best songs having something to do with food.
Or drink.
Or drink. I like it.
I wish I could remember the song that made me think of this, because I had this thought in the middle of the night and I was like, I got to write this down. I sent myself an email. I'm like, Sweet 16, blah, 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 blah. But I can't remember what song was stuck in my head now. What a bummer.
I like it. Wheels, last week you were reading an article in Christianity Today about the Epstein deal, and you seemed very impressed with it, but you hadn't finished the article yet, which never stops me from commenting. But you have some sort of standards.
It was really interesting because, and I don't remember I saw it on Twitter. It might have been David French who retweeted it. Somebody who is a conservative retweeted this because it's somebody I followed because I follow people I think are smart. I don't really care about ideology. I just follow people I think make smart points. But anyway, I read this story and it was interesting because it was all about the Epstein scandal and not about the specifics, right? It's not about the actual crimes. It's a little bit about how power gets away with things. But it made the greater point, which I thought was really interesting, and essentially that the culture wars are fake. Now, keep in mind, this is coming from an organization that is religious in nature, right? It's Christianity Today. And I think that I don't remember. Let me find that. I'm going to look at the name real quick. Russell Moore is the person that wrote it. And the headline is Jeffrey Epstein and the Myth of Culture Wars. And so he basically did a great job in this story of going through. And it's like, you notice one thing that's true in all of this is you have all these people who should be political or ideological rivals, and they all just hang out together on Epstein's Island. You can see them all in the same party photos. You can see the leftist lefty you can think of, Noam Chomsky, and the rightist righty you can think of, Steve Bannon, and they're just in the room hanging out together, having a good old time. And one of the lines in the story really stuck out to me. And it said, the people who fight culture wars often believe what they say, but the people who lead culture wars often don't. In other words, it's a big game. It's a big show. The people in power don't share any of these problems, don't share any of these conflicts. In fact, they stoke that fire because it gets us fighting. And again, I thought it was a really interesting point that, and when you look, we can see smaller examples of it, right? When you see all the former presidents together, do they look like they hate each other?
No.
Do they look like rivals? Do they look like they see the other person as an enemy because they were on the enemy team? Or do they look like buddies? Do they look like guys that belong to the same fraternity? And I think the same thing tends to be true. So the higher you go up in power and wealth, the less any of that stuff matters. And I thought it was a really good point that illustrated when you look at the list of names that are involved with Jeffrey Epstein, it's not one side versus the other. In fact, you could make the real argument that the only sides in this, and this is not me, this is from this story, essentially it's the power versus everybody else. And they're all buddies. And they all get along. Now, again, they're not all criminals, right? I'm not saying that everybody in power is in the Epstein thing. They're not. There are so many people that are not listed in that. But it's still the same dynamic where the wealthier and more powerful you are, the less of these little problems like the culture wars you even care about because you're beyond it. None of it impacts you. And I find it fascinating that we are pitted against each other by these people. Or at least they plant the seed and then we let it grow, right? You provide a little sunshine and a little water and then we just jump on board and start fighting with each other. But at the same time, none of that seems to matter to them. And in that Epstein group, you're going to find academics, really highly thought of academics, entertainers. You're going to find people with polar opposite views, and none of it matters. Thought that was fascinating.
Yeah,
the idea
really
that
is.
the people that fight the wars do believe, but the people that lead them don't care. They just want you to fight.
Almost like real wars.
Almost.
Your ride home just got a lot less of this and a lot more of this.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going, a swing and a high fly ball. Deep left field, and it's a gunner.
Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Miklasz. 3 voices, 1 hour, all Cardinals. From roster battles in Jupiter to pennant races in St. Louis, the Redbird Rush Hour delivers. The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One question I'm always asked is, how did you become the largest injury firm in the world with over 1,000 attorneys and $25 billion in verdicts and settlements? One way was our financial strength. Medical malpractice is the 3rd leading cause of death in America. To prosecute a typical case costs up to $250,000 in case cost. We advanced them all. Product liability cases can have similar costs with an army of lawyers on the other side. Automobile insurance companies have the resources to fight. Guess what? So do we. Many law firms simply may not have the financial firepower to work up your case the way you deserve. And we don't charge by the hour. No recovery, no fee. If you have a question about your case or wish to become a client, go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer. 24/7. It's that easy. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, St. Louis, need to sell your home fast? The Gelman team with eXp Realty can make you an instant cash offer in just 24 hours. No showings, no repairs, no waiting. Visit thegelmanteam.com or give them a call at 314-336-1991.
Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare? Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history. From moment to memory.
President George Bush is on his way to St. Louis right now.
Among those voices, Ron Jacober.
Welcome back to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS, happy Monday. Happy President's Day. Andrew is off today. He'll be back in tomorrow. If you can, make sure you're with us at the beginning of the show because he has a crazy story to tell about door dashing yesterday, which I was really upset he couldn't tell today. Brought to you by the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. Dave Murray's with us. Hello, Dave.
Look at that, Andrew, getting the holiday off.
Right.
Wow.
You only
What's
get a
going
day
on?
off if you get a medical emergency.
Yeah, and you have to have. I've always said in television, it was always the only reason you can't come into work is if you've died, and even then, you need a note.
Yeah, I would imagine. I imagine you did a lot of sick shows.
Oh yeah, lots. They just motor through it.
Yeah.
You know, you get calls saying, "Are you okay? You feeling okay?"
Yeah.
Nope, not.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I'm a strange mix because I think I am naturally kind of lazy, kind of a slacker, kind of looking for a way to half-ass things. But my dad was such not a go-getter. He was just afraid of not working. And so he would like throw up all night with the flu. And at 6 a.m, he's sitting at the kitchen table eating Frosted Flakes in overalls going to work. And so I have that guilt that if I'm not working, I pay the price. That's what I'm trying to say. I never take a day.
I understand that.
I never
Yeah.
take a day off, even for illness, that I don't feel bad about it. Thanks, Dad.
Things live forever.
Thanks for wedging that in there on me. So, nice day today. It'll be like,
Yeah.
what, 60?
Yeah, we were in the mid 60s today. We're going to be 66 tomorrow, though a lot of clouds around and a little windy tomorrow. So even though I'm going 66, I'm not convinced it's going to feel that warm. 56 for the low Tuesday night. Wednesday is our best shot of getting close to a record. The record on Wednesday is 74 from 1971. I'm going 72, partly sunny, still windy. Thursday, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower, but 73. The record on Thursday, 77. I think that one's safe. That will be in the 50s on Friday and back into the 40s for high temperatures over the weekend. Winter is not over. This is the January thaw in February.
Okay, fair enough. Headlines, Rach?
Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. Let's start by talking about baby food. There's a troubling new study that finds that 71% of baby foods are ultra processed. Now, this might not seem like the biggest deal, except that actually affects what kind of foods babies are going to crave on, like later on in life. So a lot of people are concerned that this is conditioning little babies to want ultra processed foods, which is, obviously less healthy and can lead to obesity later in life. So, I mean, that's not great. I understand most people are going to buy the pre-made baby food. I know of people who like make their own baby food, but not everyone's a stay-at-home mom, or maybe not everyone has access to the foods that, they'd be able to make baby food out of easily.
Yeah.
So this is a little upsetting to read this.
So there's a story, there's a thing today. RFK Jr. put out a video that says processed foods are killing, processed foods kill, eat real food. But then when you look into it, the reason that exists, Rach, is because the processed foods tend to be 50 to 70% cheaper.
Right.
So a lot of people have to buy food on a budget, especially if you are having a new baby come into your household. You got a lot of extra expenses that go along with that. So how do we meet this idealized goal in the real world where finances play into what people purchase to eat? Because processed foods are cheaper, obviously, for various reasons. Sometimes it's because they use the stuff that people don't use in like regular, like the chicken nuggets is not necessarily the same thing as what you're buying in a chicken breast, right? It's processed for a reason, because if it weren't processed, people probably wouldn't eat it. So what's the balance? How do we do this? How do we achieve this goal? Because I hear it from rich guys like RFK Jr., who grew up with a silver spoon, who's known nothing but wealth and privilege his entire life. Well, sure, you can have grilled salmon for every meal. A lot of Americans can't do that. To make ends meet, especially now with food prices being what they are, to make ends meet, sometimes you got to buy the cheaper stuff so that you still have budget left over. So how do we address that? Because scolding people, not what you're doing, Rach. What you're doing is pointing out a real logistical problem that I think most people don't even know. If you're buying baby food, you're probably assuming it's okay.
Yeah, especially the ones that are like, this one's made with fruits and vegetables, but
Right.
those are still,
Right.
falling into this
Well,
category.
Dave and I are from the first generation that was really manipulated the way that we were. Like, Dave, remember when they had the new Wonder Bread with enriched flour?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're like, what the hell is that?
Builds
Right.
body 12 ways. Build
Yes.
strong bodies 12 ways or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
like before our childhood. Well, put it this way: my teenage years were the first ever for like diet anything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Saccharin and
Yep.
sweet and
Tab,
low,
yeah.
tab, and all that kind of stuff, which of course is terrible for you. So before us, everyone was eating full fat, full sugar pies made with lard, but they were somehow healthier because they didn't have all this
Yeah.
processed crap.
Cigarette smoke.
Yeah,
Cigarettes.
right.
Cigarettes were healthy.
I mean, let's face it, we're addicted. We're literally addicted to processed foods. Like, I didn't know this, what
Yeah.
Rach is reporting.
Oh, yeah.
But even baby food.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think so. Again, I asked the question for the bigger picture because I think what Rach brings up is a really important point. If what you're being fed as a baby is this ultra processed food that scientists refer to, and we know that there are risks involved with that. And we also know, to the point Rach is making, that it makes you crave that type of feeling, that type of food again and again and again. It's why Doritos are so awesome. I'm sorry, I shouldn't slander Doritos because I love Doritos, but you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's why junk food's so good because you're like, there's a physical element to it. There's a draw to it. But how do we fix the problem? So rather than just scolding people, rather than just making the statement, which is true, eat real food, how do you make that practical?
I mean, my gut wants to answer you that the government would have to do it, and they would have to basically either outlaw stuff or put such a sin tax on it that you no longer eat that stuff.
Well, what did they do with cigarettes? Right? When we realized cigarettes are bad, what happened? Warning labels with all of the risks that go
High
with everything.
taxes.
But
Big
I want to
taxes
say,
on them.
not much.
No, but I mean, high taxes, it's expensive, and there's a warning label that says, hey, you could really get sick from this.
Well, and a big thing is they limited the way you could advertise.
That's correct.
Cigarettes.
Yep,
Like, it
yep.
couldn't. Like,
Yes.
that's kind of the issue with this baby food is it is being sold as, hey, this is the healthy baby food for your baby because it's made this way, but
Yeah.
it is deceiving.
But we seem to have less of an appetite, no pun, for like when they tried to take our big gulps away. I mean, we were screaming like stuck pigs way more than cigarettes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, hey, now you can't tell me what I can eat and drink, which I understand that sentiment. I do. Whether it's people who are on SNAP and that whole fight about whether you can buy soda and candy bars and stuff, or whether it's just anyone, what are they going to do to dissuade us from eating all this stuff that we all know is bad for us, but we keep doing it because we're addicted. Like Brian says, you can buy healthier food on a budget, but a lot of people don't want to eat healthier. It's just true.
Yeah, but go compare the cost of just straight up chicken breast to chicken nuggets, just as an example.
Sure. Yeah.
And if
It's all cooked for you and it's in a box and it's ready to go.
and you got both parents are working and you've got 2 or 3 kids. And I'm not trying to defend anything.
And the kids don't want chicken breast.
Well, that's it. I mean, sure, but you can enforce those things as a parent if you want to. It's not easy because some kids are picky and you got to get them to eat. But the bigger problem is how do we level that out to the cost being similar?
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, this is my point, though. A guy like RFK Jr. should have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Other than just scolding people and saying, eat real food. Well, all right. It took me until I was in my 40s to be able to really choose that if I want to. Right? Like, there's a long period of time where I didn't really have that choice. Because if you don't have the money where you have the extra, where like, I don't mind if my groceries cost $50 extra this week. It takes a while for some people. And if you have multiple kids, it may be a long time before you can get to that point. And you got to feed those kids.
Well, since we're talking about food, let's make the next headline about GLP-1s. Some GLP-1 users are getting scurvy. Now, scurvy is caused by a severe lack of vitamin C and can lead to anemia, bleeding gums, easy bruising, slow wound healing. But the problem is these GLP-1 medications can suppress appetite so effectively that some people are not eating any food with nutrients in it. Like they'll crave, like when they do get a craving, it's not for anything that's giving them the nutrients they need. So yeah, musician Robbie Williams, famously the Monkey movie that upset Wheels so much, said he developed scurvy after taking a medication like Ozempic, and said, I'd stopped eating, I wasn't getting nutrients. So this is something they're going to have to sort out. Now, here's the interesting part. All the studies that have been on GLP-1 drugs, they haven't really looked into whether or not people are getting the nutrients they need. This hasn't been a part of what they're studying. So this kind of throws a wrench into that whole thing. We were just talking last week, like, is this going to solve everything? Is everyone going to be able... everyone who wants to going to be able to be on these drugs? Well, we still kind of don't know how this is all going to work out.
Rach, you have something on the show sheet about GoFundMe's.
Yeah.
Is it about the
James Van Der Beek?
Yeah, I think this is really interesting. Can we talk about it while we have Dave to give his opinion here?
Absolutely. So James Van Der Beek tragically passed away from cancer last week. I want to say the day or maybe 2 days after he passed away, the family or someone closely associated with the family launched this GoFundMe to kind of try to recover some of the funds that James Van Der Beek's family lost as they were paying for these alternative cancer treatments. Well, then it turned out that the family had bought this $4.5 million ranch, and I think it was in California, a month before James passed away. So before I knew about the home that was purchased, I was still a little bit like, I'm just not sure why the general public would want to donate to his GoFundMe out of all of the GoFundMes in the world, because
it's a famous actor.
The famous actor, you would think that there's some sort of reserve going on, or if he was still in SAG, he would have more than maybe many people would have. But then the revelation that they bought this expensive home, and that's essentially what they're trying to keep. It's like, why is it that you need a $4.5 million home? The vast, vast majority of Americans are not living in a home nearly as expensive as that. Why are you asking the general public to fund your lavish lifestyle? Basically,
I thought the same thing. I mean, I have no idea what James Van Der Beek made. Maybe he's like me. He made a lot of money and spent most of it. That happens a lot. But I thought it was weird, that they're doing a GoFundMe. But then when I heard that a month before he bought an almost $5 million home, that just didn't hit me right. I don't know.
I mean, it's asking a lot out of people who don't have as much as you.
Yeah.
Why is it just kind of highlights this attitude of the haves and the have-nots? It's like, well, I'm a have. So of course I have
what
to
am I going to go down to $1 million house?
Keep having exactly like you want me to downgrade my lifestyle? No. That's for the little people. Yeah. And I probably sound super mean and super judgmental because of the fact that he has passed away. But I think what I'm saying is correct. I mean, a lot of people, when they go through a financial hardship, they make sacrifices. That's how life works. But then it's like, oh no, I'm in a class of people. I shouldn't have. You should sacrifice to make my life easier. Actually, people who have less than me. So it's just kind of weird and just kind of ugh.
I get it. I think that, put it this way, if that ranch is worth that much, you could very easily sell it. Now, again, I don't know. They obviously financed it, or I don't know, maybe they did pay cash for it. Who knows? But I know you can sell that and you can buy a pretty nice, like $500,000 home that's going to be pretty large.
I don't know.
Depending on where you want to live. Like if you're in Southern California, it's probably more like $1 million there instead of 500. But
that's the garage.
Yeah.
But I think that might actually be an additional property. I think they have another house. So it's just one of those things. I just feel really icky that this is even happening.
Yeah.
It's hard to put into words, but how dare you ask average people, regular working people, as if you're like on the brink of ruin. Like, no, you could make some very reasonable changes and take care of all of this. And
if you're struggling to feed your 6 or 7 kids, whatever it is they have, you don't live in a $5 million house.
Right.
That's just a rule. Thank you, Dave.
Alrighty.
Make plans for the 2026 Home Expo presented by the Home Builders and Remodelers Association. Friday and Saturday from 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 3 at Belclair Fairgrounds in Belleville. Meet experts from 175 plus booths. Enjoy hourly giveaways, live performances, and pet adoptions with Gateway Pet Guardians. Admission and parking are free, and over 10,000 people are expected to attend. Proudly sponsored by Aloha Pools, Jacob Family Enterprises, Mid-America Cabinet Refacing, McCullough Flooring, and many more. Get all the details at hbrmea.org.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Every spring brings promises, and every spring delivers surprises. This year, the Cardinals are writing a new story, and there'll be plenty of surprises. Matt Pauley is in Jupiter with inside access to Camp Cardinals.
Presented by St. Louis Composting. Composting, growing gardens and making memories. And Happy Roof. We always create happy endings.
From breakout performances to roster revelations, get reports throughout the day on the voice of the Cardinals. KMOX.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX, and my official sportsbook now, well, basically since the FanDuel Sportsbook launched. And I don't mean in Missouri, I mean since it launched, period, because I've been using it for years when I was traveling, and now I get to do it at home. Well, if you're thinking about, and if you've been enjoying the Winter Olympics, I'm going to tell you something right now. FanDuel can make the Winter Olympics a little more fun for you. From game lines to medal counts to just finding the angle on the events that you care about, FanDuel gives you a whole bunch of ways to stay connected to the action. With the winter games on, there's really no better way to follow along and have fun with them than to have some fun on FanDuel, which is what I've been doing. Now, I haven't touched things like curling, but maybe you're into curling where a match kind of starts slow and easy and then it gets tense right there at the end. And we even had some controversy in curling this year. Speed skating, where the races are decided by inches and fractions of seconds, or these hockey games, man, that are all-star games. They feel different from the opening faceoff because national pride is on the line. So you have all these cool options. If you want to have some fun with it, go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. It's FanDuel where you get to play your game. And remember, you must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Time is valuable. That's why Lowe's Blueprint Takeoffs turn blueprints into quotes faster. Bring us your plans, and we'll generate itemized material lists to make quoting easier so you can get back to building. Plus, at the Lowe's Pro Desk, you get access to thousands of building materials not sold in store. And when your order's ready, we'll deliver everything to the job site. Improving is easy at Lowe's.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy Monday. Happy President's Day. Wheels, I saw something I wanted to run by you. It's a sports thing, but we just went through all of this drama with the halftime show.
Yeah.
And, it's so woke and the NFL, and they just don't care about, middle America anymore and, that kind of stuff. And over the weekend, I saw a couple of African-American sports guys, and they made an interesting point. They said, hey, look, we're not stupid. We know that a few years ago they gave the contract to Jay-Z. And since then, we've had a lot more people of color and a lot more people who come from minority backgrounds. We see it, we get it, but we just went through hiring NFL coaches, and none of them hired were African American. Only one of them interviewed was African American. How about you keep the Super Bowl and you give us some actual representation in the sport?
I mean, it's a point I've been making for 30 years, and it's crazy that I was having that conversation on sports radio in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Wow.
And we're still having it.
Yeah.
How many minorities in football call the shots in personnel in the front office? They're the GM.
No idea, but I'm guessing very few.
Few. It's a handful. How many owners?
I can't think of one in the NFL.
Basically none. Okay. And that's just football. Every sport's a little different. And also, the thing that bothers me about the halftime thing is this is definitely in that category of fights that nobody cares about. If you think the average football fan in middle America is pissed off about it, why are they not turning off football? Why is football the most watched television show, period, the end, every year? Because that ain't happening without middle American football fans. That ain't happening without regular dudes and just normal people. That ain't woke garbage. So if it bothers that many people, like in real life bothers them, why do they still watch? And my answer to that is it doesn't bother them. Football fans just want to watch football. They don't care about that. But it's one of those things get amplified around the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl is a big deal. These fights get clicks. It's not actually a real problem. And not amongst football fans. I mean, football fans get annoyed because some of the things like, nothing. I mean, whether it's, Rihanna or whatever, that's not like your typical football fans style of music. But we also, as football fans, we understand it's not for us. The football is for us. The halftime show is for everybody else. Because I've always, jokingly complained, like, what? All right, so where's my Super Bowl halftime? When do I get one? When do I get a Metallica? Or when do I get? Well, I don't, because they don't need to appeal to me. I'm going to watch the football game. I don't care. I mean, the halftime thing is secondary. Halftime and all that is for everybody else that's not a football fan.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys about my friend Mark Cantor, attorney at law. And let me just, you know this. I'm going to tell you something. I think you're probably going to go, yeah, I never thought of it like that. But yeah, of course that makes sense. But all of the pageantry, including this 60-second live endorsement where I'm trying to get you to call Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law if you have an injury and you need a plaintiff's attorney. That's what I'm trying to do. Just bold and bald, right? And when you watch television and you see these AI slop commercials, or you see these big, we're the biggest in the world, we have 3 million cases last year, all of that stops when your case becomes real. Then it becomes the mundane everydayness of whatever law firm you choose. My point is the pageantry's out of it. And it's just down to the Glover file or the Wheeler file. And how's this going? And are we through discovery yet? And if we found out anything that helps our case, anything that hurts our case, when do we start taking depositions? Trial set for 8 months. That one's going to get continued. Let's prepare and get ready for XYZ. All of the moving parts and the X's and O's are things that a lot of these guys with the big advertising budgets either have never learned or have forgotten. Mark Cantor is an everyday attorney. He's a go to court all the time attorney. He's a not back down and take a cheap offer on the eve of trial because he's afraid to go to a jury trial. So again, my advice, my real advice is if you or someone you care about is injured, call Mark. 314-628-9999, CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're